$2.5 million with a full no-trade clause.
Snapshot brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio
This is Bump and Stacy.
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now.
Matt, not to start the show chaotically, but did I tell you I'm a hot coffee person now? I've changed my identity.
Cool. How long is this phase going to last?
A couple
2
days.
days.
No, it could be longer than that. I've always been like, I don't care if it's snowing. I don't care if it's a thunderstorm. I don't care if it's negative 50 degrees out. I'm going to get iced coffee. But I've changed. I think this is a sign of maturity. I think more emotionally mature people maybe get hot coffee. That's what I'm telling myself. But I'm a hot coffee girly now. I mean, I'll still have an iced coffee. Don't get me wrong. But I'm just finding that when I drink hot coffee, I feel like I'm in a Folgers commercial.
And you don't think this is like your water phase or your lunchbox phase?
Okay, my water phase was not a phase. Water's important.
Tomorrow you're coming in here with an iced coffee.
I was going to give her till
Book it.
Monday, but it's soon.
You know what, Curtis? I don't like your attitude to start the show. Okay? We're supposed to start out positively here. I know the
It's
Seahawks.
years observing the human condition.
No,
is
that's not what it is. I'm just saying that I just wanted to start the show with a statement that I'm different now. And I want us to proceed through the next 4 hours of the show knowing that I've changed and I'm more mature and I'm grown. And I'm a hot coffee drinker now. Okay?
Until next week.
The Seahawks have a problem. Do we know what the problem is? Bump, what's the problem?
They lost to the Dane Rams. Now they're
I mean,
7-3
that
in
is a
second of
problem.
division and
That-
wild card spot now.
That's a problem. Curtis, what's the problem? What's the problem the Seahawks have?
This problem is that the rent is too damn high.
Matt, the Seahawks have a problem. What's the problem?
Their games are too early and
No,
I'm sleepy.
Matt, no. No, all of
This
you
is
are
a 1
wrong.
o'clock start.
All
I'm
of you are wrong. The
sorry.
Seahawks have a turnover problem. They have a turnover problem. Take a listen to this from Mike Sando of The Athletic. The 2013 Denver Broncos, 2000 St. Louis Rams, and these current Seahawks are the only team since 2000 to have a point differential of at least 100 and a negative turnover differential through the first 10 games of the season. It's a tough combination to pull off. Now, two really good teams, two really, really good offenses, mind you, but you're making it hard on yourself.
Yeah, you are. And everybody has contributed to this fumble situation. You got your running back who has fumbled. Helani has lost a fumble. Sam Darnold, your quarterback, another quarterback, Jalen Monroe, JSN Whiteout has fumbled. Arroyo has fumbled and lost. You fumbled a kick return or a punt return with Rashid Shaheed. I'm not sure which one, but you recovered that one. You got 10 interceptions by Sam Darnold. You got 4 against the Rams. You got 2 against Pitt. It's at least everyone's contributing. You know what I mean? You can't just point the finger at one person. It is a team issue. And, yeah, it's a problem. If you can't take care of the football, you're going to put your defense in situations like they were in against the Rams with short fields. If you just make the Rams drive the football down the field a couple more times instead of giving them a short field, who knows what could have happened. So, yeah, the turnovers are kicking the butt right now.
What? Okay, so I'm going to ask a question that sounds very stupid on its face, but this is why I'm asking. I don't think this is a poorly coached team. I don't think this is a bad offense. I know that Sam Darnold has turnover issues. He has 5 fumbles this year. He's got, obviously, all the interceptions. But this is a team that has turned the ball over more than just Darnold. It's at different phases of the game. I went back and I looked at every single lost turnover, interception, or fumble for Seattle. They are at low-stakes moment. They're at high-stakes moments. They're in tie games. They're when they're trailing.
Yeah.
They're when they're ahead. Some of them don't even matter in hindsight. Like you mentioned that game against Pittsburgh. No one cares in hindsight. At the time of that game, when Sam threw an interception, they were 14-14. Like, that's a high-stakes moment. That's a critical moment. But you don't really care in the end because you beat them 31-17. Is there an aspect to this that's like bad luck?
Yeah, here's the thing about fumbles, right?
Okay.
When I played, I think I said this yesterday, they were not punching the football out. It was more like a grab and try to rip it out. It was a harder process. But now that they've introduced the punch, sometimes physics just wins. The football is in the wrong position. You get punched out. And it's hard to do. It's not like this is happening at a high clip every single week. We do see fumbles every week. But half of it is luck. The other half is just awareness. Like, you have to know that teams know you will put the football on the ground. So what are they going to do? They will attack the football at a higher rate because they feel like you're going to cough it up. As far as the interceptions go, I mean, if you don't have those 4 interceptions against the Rams, that helps a little bit.
Yeah.
But you're putting the ball on the ground, and this is just part of the game. There's no excuse for it. You got to be high and tight, 2 hands on the football. When you're going in, running between the tackles, get low. Like, there are things that you can coach to help kind of slow it down a bit, but sometimes it's just unlucky.
And there is an aspect of this that is, even though I agree with you, there's a very real aspect of luck to this. There is also a positive correlation with turnovers and bad teams. The top 5 teams in total giveaways right now, not turnover differential, just total giveaways. Seattle, number 1 with 20. Minnesota, Miami, Cincy, Carolina. Now, you have 2 teams in that group. I don't know where Minnesota is record-wise right now. I'm going to say 2 teams in that group, above 500. But look at the teams that aren't giving the ball away. Philly, KC. I know they're 5-5, but Chicago, they're leading the league in takeaways. Tampa Bay, they've struggled, but they're still a good team. Green Bay. Like, there's Detroit is right there. The Rams are right behind them. There's still a correlation, and I don't think it's just because those giveaways lead to bad records, though you are more likely to lose games if you give the ball away. Totally understand. But also, bad teams play sloppy football.
Yeah, it's
So I don't know what to make of it.
That's
Because
what
I don't
makes
think
it
Seattle's
weird.
a bad team.
Exactly, because they're not a bad team. Like, bad teams play sloppy football. They turn the football over. Lots of penalties, lots of operation, procedural penalties. And that's not what this team is, but they have a flaw. You know, it's just like, all of us have our flaws in our personalities or whatnot. This is a flaw in their football personality, and it is a big one that can hurt you, and it hurt you this past week. I'm sure Mike McDonald and the group are talking about this to their players. We have to take care of the football. With the quarterback, when addressing the turnovers, we got to be a bit more delicate because you understand who you're dealing with. Sam Darnold, a guy who, as soon as he started turning the football over last week, New York is talking about seeing ghosts once again. You're talking about the last 2 games with the Vikings. And even if you don't like it, quarterbacks are just different. You gotta finesse this one with Sam Darnold. You got to sit down in the room with him, go over the interceptions or whatnot and talk through it. It's not something that you bring up in the group meeting and say, our quarterback can't turn the football over. You generalize it. Hey, we got to take care of the football. Sam has to be better with that. He can't be the main component when it comes to turning the football over. Obviously, he touches the ball the most, so it's more than likely that he's going to be that guy. He has more opportunities to do that. But this is something that needs to be fixed.
Yeah.
If it is not fixed, you will find yourself in situations where the game is on the line and you lose it because you cough the ball up.
McDonald last week talked about their process to cut down on turnovers.
Well, I can tell you, how we approach what we do, and we're going to keep training the heck out of it and talking about it and showing examples and trying to find opportunities to do it. Train it today, tomorrow, and Friday, and offensively, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to work our ball security drills. We're going to make sound decisions, and you have to have an awareness of when they're taking shots and who are the guys, but you got to make sure that you're on point with what you're doing.
Here's what Sam Darnold said he needs to do.
Just being very deliberate with kind of my progressions, going through my reads, understanding when the pocket's, a little bit messy and when I need to maybe check the ball down or even just throw it away. So I think that's going to be a huge point of emphasis this week, but again, I like to play every single play as its own and kind of go from there.
And finally, my question for you, Bump. Daniel Jeremiah with Brock and Salk thinks that there is one way to combat this for the offense.
For the negative Sam stuff and their big ones, the interceptions, he made more big time throws in that game than Stafford did. I was going through it and I was kind of thinking, Brock, like it was some of it almost you wonder if they could have protected him from himself a little bit with that game. In other words, like if you think about swimming in the ocean when you're a kid and, they might have, maybe there's a shark warning or something, or maybe there's like buoys where you say, hey, the tide's too strong here. Let's stay out of this area of the water, swim over here, but not here. Like the Rams, clearly they wanted to funnel things to the middle of the field. And they had robber player in there that was free and loose that could just read Sam. And they got him a couple times. Everything they did at the perimeter, whether it was underneath where you could watch JSN break tackles, whether it was down the field, you get the amazing one-handed catch as well as a bunch of other completions. Like big-time drive throws, but out of harm's way on the perimeter. That, to me, should have been a little bit more of the focus in that and kind of save him from himself and some of the danger that lurked in the middle of the field.
The offense can save Sam from himself. Bump, how do they do it?
Well, you only ran play action 9 to 10 times last game, and that's a main component of what you do. I think 44 dropbacks, I believe. Sam had 44 attempts. He only had 9 play actions. So you kind of got away a little bit from what you're used to doing. Dan Jeremiah is correct. How do you funnel everything inside? You stay in that 2 high look, and you play like a cover 2 match. So in a cover 2, the corners have outside leverage, and they funnel everything inside because they have safety help over the top. They did a lot of that, and they ran some 4 as well. But their alignment by the corners kind of funneled everything inside. How do you do that? You nickel and dime. When you think about A.J. Barner in the game, he had 10 receptions for 70 yards. Where was most of his stuff? It was like, outside the hash, a 5-yard hitch, turn up and get it, into the flat, turn up and get it. I think you just have to be more patient when you play against a team like the Rams because, 1, you have to get the football off quick because of that defensive line. And 2, they're better on the back end than I thought they were. So you play that game. You nickel and dime, you loosen them up, and you stay true to your play action. I think them getting away from that a bit definitely didn't help Sam.
Why do you think they got away from it?
Sometimes as a play caller, you just do because you feel like
trying to find the flow of the
need to make a play. I'm searching because you don't have the same feel that you have the games before. Other than what maybe the 49ers game, most of the time this offense feels like it's just moving and it's rolling. So as a coordinator, you get into these situations to where, all right, nothing's really happening for us. I got to dig deeper into this playbook, and you kind of lose who you are at times. I'm not saying that's exactly what happened with Kubiak, but it could have been a factor. I've called plays at a much lower level, but the feeling has to be the same as, all right, nothing's working. I got to find something in this playbook that maybe we haven't ran a lot, but I think it's going to work, and then you kind of forget about who you are in a sense.
Based on what you saw have you been able to watch some more of the All-22? I figured, you sicko. Based on what you saw, how do you think the Seahawks offense tried to attack? And where did it backfire?
I think they tried to attack the Rams like they do every other team. They still were committed to the run, right? You ran the ball 20-something times. You did throw the ball 44 times. So it felt like you still use your deep crosses in this whole deal. I think that's part of the Hawks offense that kind of opens things up. It's sitting that player in the deep cross, whether it's Rashid or it's JSN, because it forces the safety to play him. The Rams did a good job of dropping that robber in the middle of the field and kind of trying to take that away. And I felt like they didn't use their tight end packages as much, right? They didn't make it a real physical type of game. And sometimes you just get outplayed. And once you get behind, your quarterback's throwing interceptions. You're searching for something that can make him comfortable, and you just couldn't find it. So I don't think it was them being out-coached. I think the players just played better, and you had a quarterback who had his worst day as a Seahawk.
I will say this. The Tennessee Titans are near the bottom of the league in total takeaways. They have 10, which is not the worst, right? There are several defenses worse than them. But for comparison, the Rams are third in total takeaways. So I am not saying the Seahawks will have a game in which they don't turn the ball over. What I'm saying is, even though it's any given Sunday, this Sunday might be an opportunity to get right and to refocus on some of those fundamentals. And I'm not saying anything they don't know.
Right.
They've already had these conversations 2 days ago. But I think maybe it can be a good opportunity to go against a team with a few more weaknesses where you're like, all right, just focus on, I don't know if it's being yourself. Don't try to outthink the room.
You just got to get back to you. You got to get back to who you are. And you're a team that establishes the run, that uses the play action. You take your shots, and you let your playmakers run after the catch. It's going to be easier against the Tennessee Titans, right? But you just wanted to see that against a really good team. So that's some good film for them, though. We asked the question, would you rather have them win this first game against the Rams or the second one? Obviously, I think we both said win this first one. But you still got another shot now. You have another chance to get after. You got some film on them, too. So I think that's going to be helpful. Of course it is. And get back to who you are, man. Run that football, play action, get the football out of his hands quickly.
Getting to the Mariners in 15 minutes right now. Let's get to headline rewrites.
Extra, extra, read all about it.
Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news with Bump and Stacy.
Headline number one, it was another brutal performance from the Raiders as they were blown out by the Cowboys 33-16 on Monday Night Football. What's the real headline?
Pete Carroll's magic might have run out. Now, this isn't a joke, and the reason I chose it for the headline is, Bump, first of all, credit to you for every time people, I was thinking about this yesterday, every time people would maybe text in fairly with a question about like, oh God, this is risky. Are the Raiders going to win more with the Seahawks? You were like, the Raiders are going to win like 4 games, 5 games. I'll give them maybe 6. So you were all over it. But there are a lot of conversations to have about the Raiders roster, about the roster construction, about the lack of protection, about drops, Geno's struggles, and all of that. And everything I've listened to has ultimately come down to a Pete Carroll conversation. It's not his fault, but I think there was so much hope that this Hall of Fame coach could find a way to unlock a team that had so many coaches cycle through.
It's tough, man. I feel bad for Pete because it's not all on him.
No.
He's the head coach, so he's going to take all the shots, right? But you got Chip Kelly, the OC over there, only ran the ball 12 times. 42 passes, 12 runs. If you know Chip Kelly from his UCLA and Oregon days, he wants to run the football. So what does that mean? Do they not believe in Ashton Genty? 6 carries. This man was drafted number 6 overall, and he got 6 carries. Geno Smith led them when it comes to rushing yards. There's a lot more. There's so many moving parts over there that you can point to the big names, right? The headliners, the Genos, Pete Carroll, Chip, Ashton Genty, Browers, and Crosby over there. Crosby had himself a sack. He's still playing decent football. But it's an organizational thing. But unfortunately, if this keeps going this way, Pete Carroll might be one and done over there. I thought he'd win a few more games and maybe get a second year. But if you keep losing like this, one and done.
My only thing about being one and done with Pete Carroll, and I would not put it past the Raiders at all to be one and done with Pete Carroll. They basically were with Pierce. I mean, he was interim, so it was like 1.5 and done. But they're willing to flip the script quickly. My only thing with that is, okay, well, what's your solution? You have money committed to Geno in 2026. Geno's your starter in 2026. You're going to improve the team somewhat, hopefully target and free agency, but like, who's coming in? What's he going to do? So unless you think fundamentally like the coaching staff, like the Carroll, everything is a problem. We need to uproot it. But I don't know. It's a bad roster.
It's horrible.
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 2, Mike McDonald said Gray Zabel was able to avoid a serious knee injury and is considered day-to-day. What's the real headline?
Nothing significant. A great thing to hear about a player's injury and a horrible thing to hear about your own life.
Yeah, so that's good for Zabel. And, you know, he probably could sit this one out, too. If he's not 100%, you respect your opponents, but you feel like they should be able to handle the Tennessee Titans. He could sit this one out. Knowing what I know about Zabel and his personality, he's going to want to play in this football game, and I would want him to play if he's 100%. But, yeah, that's big because if you lose Zabel and Sundell, this offensive line, you're pretty much running back what you had last year. You have Oluwatimi, then you're trying out Christian Haynes. I mean, that'd be good for Haynes to get an opportunity to see what he can do against the Tennessee Titans. But the line that you had to start the season was playing some pretty good football. You did have your ups and downs, smiles and frowns and all that. Not the best, but you want to keep a unit of 5 together so they can grow together and build that chemistry. So great news for the Seahawks, man. If Zabel went down, I'd be extremely concerned.
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 3, Jamar Chase has been suspended for next week's game by the NFL for spitting on Jalen Ramsey. What's the real headline?
I never spit on that man, says man who spit on man.
Yeah, that's funny. And he's standing by it. He's appealing it.
I think, okay, so can I tell you my theory?
Yeah.
I think he's being advised to appeal it purely because the league gave, quote, a 1-game suspension to Jalen Carter and docked his pay, but then counted the game which he was in as that game served. So even though, in theory, as regular people, we're like, oh, well, he didn't even play a snap. It was during, like, you know, the opening, like, handshakes or whatever. Like, it is what it is. We're not going to count it. Technically, he was suited up. He was active for that game. That was a game that he, quote, started. Like, there is a little bit of a tiny bit of a wiggle room here where Chase can go, look, this other player, you didn't actually suspend him a game on top of the game in which he played and was thrown out of the game. I wasn't executed.
Oh, dang.
What was the word I was looking for? Anyone?
Removed.
Ejected?
Ejected. Thank you. He's not executed. No, they didn't execute him.
Well, when did Jamar get kicked out of that game?
It was
What was the timestamp on that?
Later, right?
Yeah, the
game was
dead. Argument's dead. No, you played most of that game. So, yeah, and you're tripping, dog. I mean, even if he's being advised to do it, the smart thing to do, the respectable thing to do is to come out and say, my bad. I did something, shouldn't have done it. It's disrespectful. Even Jalen Carter came out and apologized for it. And we know he got some character issues over there. I mean, he came out and said, you know what, I'm sorry about that. He denied it.
Yeah,
and
but he supplied it.
And then appealed it. So, yeah, it's just a bad look for Jamar. And with a guy that I didn't think would go that route as far as spitting at somebody.
What's with the spitting?
I don't know.
We're grown men. I mean, I'm not. Royal we.
It's ridiculous. It's disgusting.
It's gross.
Yeah, all bad.
When you were ever a player, did anyone ever spit on you as a player?
When I played soccer, yeah, but not football.
That feels like a soccer thing.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
What's the worst thing someone did in football?
Just like try to twist your ankle when you're on the ground in the pile.
Like the dirtiest thing someone did was try to like twist your
and like try to grab your area.
Mm-hmm. That I could see happening with guys for sure.
Yeah.
Try to swift punch just before anyone sees it.
Yep.
I bet that happens more than I think.
Probably not as much in the NFL. I would say college and high school though, because those kids don't care.
Well, in the NFL today, this is what it's always been bad, but with Jalen Carter, with Jamar, the NFL every single week is the most watched thing on TV. There are cameras everywhere. They will see everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're not getting away with nothing.
To say, oh, there wasn't a punch thrown, I didn't spit on anyone. Like maybe what you're doing, is, a little bit of it is saying, he didn't punch me, I didn't spit on him, you didn't see anything. Right? But unfortunately, we all saw it, and it's very obvious, so now you look weird for lying.
Mm-hmm.
Like, maybe you're trying to just say nothing happened, including on his part. That's the only way that I could excuse it, but we have eyes.
You got to hit up Jalen Ramsey, man. He's too good of a player to stoop to that level.
I know.
He's too good of a player for that.
I know. It's just... And why? Like, your team was completely out of it. Maybe you're frustrated. Did you also... I completely missed this. Speaking of wide receivers that are frustrated, I was listening to the Sports NFL podcast, and so this is where I heard the story. They talked about Justin Jefferson not refusing to talk to the media.
Really?
Just out of frustration, out of like Minnesota's just in a frustrating place, and he's typically really great with reporters and maybe just doesn't want to say anything. But Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson, two great receivers I feel bad for this year because they're not getting the production they deserve.
Yeah, I feel for them, but you've had enough good years. You'll be fine.
You wear got millions.
2 diamond necklaces every game. That's where I'll be
it's
feeling
about
for
Super
these
Bowls.
dudes. I'll be feeling for these guys, and I get it because they're competitors. They want to win.
And then they get in their Bugatti and drive away, and you're like, oh, never mind.
End of the day, you will be just fine.
Piecing together the Mariners' 2026 infield next.
Down on the field is Gray Zabel.
A big sigh of relief for the Seahawks.
Really fortunate. I guess we avoided a significant injury, which is really positive.
While Zabel recovers.
Could be day to day, could be a week, could be more than that.
Who steps up?
God bless Christian Haynes, man. He came in there. He's a tough sucker with heavy hands.
This is the home of the Seahawks. Seattle Sports on 710, the Seattle Sports app, and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
Hey, Mike Salk here for my friends at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel, and obviously New Year's is coming up. Can you believe it? Book your stay at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel for an evening of elegance at a night at the Grand Ball. This New Year's Eve celebration includes the legendary DJ Super Sam. And sports fans, you got to check out the Hawks Peak, your home for game days with great food and drinks, more than 60 TVs, so you won't miss a play, and a heated, covered outdoor deck with those great views of the Snoqualmie Valley. Seattle's closest is now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
Black Friday is coming, and that's the smart time to shop for a top-rated TV from Samsung, LG, or Sony. But why wait? You can get those Black Friday TV deals right now at Video Only, and then enjoy Thanksgiving with your new TV. Still want to wait? Then how about better than Black Friday deals? The top-rated TVs at stupid low prices. Check out Video Only now before the rush, or you'll be sorry.
Guys, tired all the time, gaining weight, low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. Right now, Revive Men's Health Washington is making it easier to get answers with a comprehensive wellness panel. It's not just a lab test, it's where better performance begins. Our providers will check your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. A $400 value for just $99, or free if you start treatment. Over 120,000 men have trusted Revive to restore their energy, mood, and confidence. So if you're ready to feel better and live stronger, call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Offer ends November 30th. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
Have you tried the dining district at the Bellevue Collection? Grab lunch with friends, meet up for happy hour, and stay for dinner and beyond. You can sample international flavors and local favorites from talented chefs. Try a new cocktail on a rooftop bar or watch the game with friends and explore the lively nightlife scene. The Dining District at the Bellevue Collection, where your taste adventure begins. Learn more at BellevueCollection.com/dining district.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions and bring you a special Black Friday offer.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal. And now, as a special Black Friday offer, you can get a free gutter inspection, plus up to 35% off. This is our best offer of the season. Unlock it now at leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
Want more Seahawks content? Join me, G. Scott, on The Reset. New episodes of the podcast every Monday and Thursday on YouTube or on the Seattle Sports app.
Mike Rowe here with a random fact. More than half of the homes that have basements in North America will experience water damage. It's true. Whether it's basement moisture, flooding, or bowing walls, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys. They're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to waterproof your basement and stabilize your walls. Schedule a free inspection with Groundworks, the foundation and waterproofing experts.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit muckleshootcasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot. Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation, so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy
Weekdays 10 to 2.
on Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
The Mariners have a first baseman. They made that deal with Josh Naylor official yesterday, so let's piece together the rest of the 2026 infield. Bump, it feels like now there's a decision to make about whether or not you go Suarez or Polanco. Divish on with us yesterday talking about first Polanco.
I think they should kind of give him the Mitch Garver deal, 2 years, $24 million. Maybe give it an option for a third if he's got like a vesting option, kind of like what he had this year where he performs. But other than that, no, I wouldn't break the bank on him. And I think, again, that's a guy that wants to, it's similar to Naylor. He's a guy that wants to be in Seattle. He likes the team. He likes the familiarity. He doesn't like change a lot. So I don't think he's out there like looking to wring every dollar out of the situation. So maybe that's one that gets done. I think they were hoping they could get it done right away as well.
I'll start with this one. Would you bring Polanco back?
Yes.
Me too.
I'd bring him back. When we're talking to Divish, I told him he kind of makes me nervous because he's 1 for 1 or 1 for 2 when it comes to production. But, we spoke to Shannon Dreyer, and she, let us know, like, look, he was battling a lot of injuries last year. His knee wasn't right. And they took care of him this year, right? DH'd him a lot, didn't play him a lot at second base. And I think that that's the approaches you need to take with Polanco. But it's hard to see what he did this year and think, oh, well, we're fine. We don't need him. If it wasn't for him at the start of the season, to have the start that he had, who knows where the team's going to be. Wasn't for him in the playoffs, having those clutch moments, who knows where this team would have been. So, yeah, I would go with Polanco, man. I know that there are some names at second base that some people want to explore, especially in our farm. But at this point, it's like 4 or 5 that you need back when it comes to this order, and he's one of them for me.
I understand Polanco's a little bit older at, I believe, 32 entering into the season, and I also know that it's fair to wonder whether you can expect the same production. That being said, you wouldn't be paying him a ton, nor breaking the bank for him, as Divish said. And also, something that I haven't considered quite as frequently in the more recent editions of Mariners teams is the importance of continuity in running it back. You don't want to run it back for the sake of running it back if there are players that no longer fit with 2026. But if there are players who do, I think there is also something to the chemistry. Maybe I was thinking about it a lot because of the Dodgers, who are one of the older teams, had a lot of the same players. Granted, they have an incredibly expensive payroll. You're talking about guys that were MVPs that are now all on the same team. I get that it's different, but I was just thinking about the importance of having a lot of the same pieces so long as they're still healthy and what that can mean for chemistry and experience together.
It's important. I think it's easy to look at the numbers and make decisions solely based off of that, which is fine. Numbers, they're the foundation to you even starting to decide whether you want to keep somebody or not. But then there are the other things. There are, like you said, the chemistry. I was listening. I was at the airport in Oakland, and I was just listening in on someone's conversation about the Dodgers, right? And they were complaining about Teoscar. Like, man, his defense is so bad, though. Didn't play well in the playoffs. And then someone says, well, who's going to throw the seeds when they score home runs? Like, because he's the first one out there throwing the seeds. And those are the little things, like, it might not seem like much to people, but everyone has, like, their role on the team. It's like everyone has a role in the family. You got your drunk uncle. You got your auntie who wants to run everything. Your grandma who says what she wants to say. Your cousins who are gonna take that walk and come back looking all crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everyone has their roles.
Everyone has a role.
And I'm not limiting Teoscar just to the seeds, but those are the little things that build chemistry in the dugout or whatnot. Polanco's more than just throwing seeds, and so is Teoscar. But little things like that just show the chemistry and the love that teammates have for each other. And that could go a long way, especially when you hit those parts of the season where your team just is not playing good ball. You gotta like that person. You're playing like Basura and you don't like that guy, you can get some side eyes, you're gonna roll your eyes. It's gonna be hard out there.
Okay, so you and I both agree on bringing Polanco back. Your DH, maybe an option at second, but ultimately just getting him back for that offense. So what about third? Here's what Divish thinks a deal could look like for if you wanted to bring back Suarez.
I think they would offer Suarez a 1-year deal for, $8 to $10 million, maybe 10 to 12. And then, because there's no such thing as a bad 1-year deal, you can move on from it.
But could they take a youth movement approach there? Here's more from Divish.
I think if they had to, like, if, say they get Polanco and they're just not finding anything out there on the third base market, and it's not a great third base market, then maybe they would look at using Ben Williamson there at third. You go out and find another lefty bat to platoon with him for a little bit, and then when Colt Emerson's ready, maybe you move him there.
So maybe, says Divish, given that it's a slightly weaker third base market, that's where they go with youth. We've already had Shannon joining us saying, look, I know that they have Young at second and Williamson at third, and it seems like those are your answers there, but like I really don't see them going with both of those guys. They're trying to get to a World Series. I don't see them going with both of those young guys to start the season. That's a lot to ask for them. It leaves a lot of room for error. Why would you not bring in more offense? You're a team that always needs more offense, especially in that park. Brought back Naylor? Check. It feels like Polanco is that necessary next step, and then maybe it's youth at third.
That's the scary part with the youth movement is you don't expect – it's rare that you call a guy up and he just hits the ground running and is a main component in your order. That's hard to do. But the positive of just starting the season off that way is that they have time to kind of work into their role, right? They have time to feel what it's like to play in the bigs, to be around the team and be around these coaches or whatnot. So if you do it, better do it early. I don't want like a late move. We're in July and we're calling up Williamson and be like, hey, come save the day. Let's struggle with the young man early and get through the bumps and the bruises, and hopefully he finds his stride. And just being around the guys. I mean, when you're around Josh Naylor and Julio and Cal, you have no choice but to learn, right? You're going to pick up little nuances when it comes to how to be a pro, how to prepare, and the approach at the plate. So I'm okay with it. It does make me a bit nervous, though.
Trev, the UPS driver, saying you do need Suarez as far as those 40-plus home runs, 100-plus ribbies. You're not going to get that from Benji, which you're right. Fully not expecting Ben Williamson to get you. I don't care that not all of 49 of those home runs were with Seattle. The point is that he's a 40-plus home run kind of guy in terms of his power. I agree that you're not getting that from Ben. I, too, wonder where you're going to get that offense. Seattle's got one of two choices. Either you continue to stack on your offense and make it as good as possible, or you take your pitching to another level. You can't settle with just Naylor, maybe just Polanco, and then that's it. You cannot.
Yeah, you got to get better somewhere. And I think that's at the trade deadline, that was a spot we were looking at too, like Castillo. Like, what are they going to try to deal and get an arm? They end up getting Ferguson. You got to look at that bullpen as well. But yeah, you have to continue to strive to get better, even if you were one of the top teams in the league when it came to home runs last year. So what? Let's be the best. Even if you had one of the best rotations in the game last year, so what? Let's try to be better if we can. You're never complacent in sports. So I hope that's going to be their approach. But off to a great start with Naylor.
Yeah. Julio in Mill Creek says, well, the Astros did just this to build their dynasty. They brought up their youth plus vets. Yes, that's also the approach that the Mariners want to take. You hear Justin Hollander use the term like ramp up or kind of like leave a ramp a lot when he talks about players, going all the way back to when he was talking about Cal coming up and Murphy ahead of him and like, we want to leave a ramp. We want to leave a runway for Cal. That's how they build. I think my fear is I don't like the idea of starting the season with your everyday second base. Your starting second baseman and your starting third baseman are those guys. So, yes, you want to leave a runway for them. Yes, you need to turn over and have that young nucleus of players and top prospects that you can develop. But you're also in a window that may not last long that you need to seize. And I think that what the Astros did was also make some really key trades and add a bit of payroll to turn that into a championship roster. They did other things too, but we don't need to do that here. All right, a little bit of a game. This is meant to talk about all of the surprises of this year's NFL. Things you can't believe are happening. This is how you're finishing the sentence. I can't believe I'm saying this, but, and then it's got to be something crazy that's happening, a prediction in the NFL right now. This is not a bold take. This is something that, like, you cannot believe it's true. But, for instance, I can't believe I'm saying this, but Drake May might be MVP this year. That kind of prediction.
Just spoiled mine. I was going to say that.
I'm sorry.
Just spoiled it.
You can have another one. That's next.
Wyman and Bob.
To me, the biggest thing about this Naylor deal
Every afternoon at 2.
is not that they signed him, not that he makes sense, that he fits perfectly. All of that is true. What it represents to me is a shift in philosophy with ownership, with the front office. It's the biggest free agent deal since Jerry DiPoto's been in charge. And to me, this represents a huge change in philosophy that I hope continues while they address other positions.
Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton, only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
When I was playing ball, November was always such a pivotal time because that's when you truly see whether your team is a contender or a pretender. Many teams enter the month with a chance to win the championship, and what they do these next 4 weeks makes all the difference. Michael Bumpus here, and even though my playing days are over, November can still mean big wins at Silver Reef Casino Hotel. All you have to do is claim your free entry at any promo kiosk. Every Saturday in November at Silver Reef, 2 winners are drawn every hour on the hour, 6 p.m., to score huge prizes. Someone's going to win a Hawaiian vacation, an awesome outdoor grill, or $10,000 cash. Here's what you have to do this weekend. Book a stay at Silver Reef Casino, watch the college football games on Saturday, and stick around to see if you walk away with a big-time prize or cash money. Entry is free. For more information, visit silverreefcasino.com/promotions. Book your stay at Silver Reef Casino Hotel, drive up I-5, exit 260.
Black Friday comfort sale is on now at Home Comfort Alliance. Save up to 75% on furnaces, ACs, heat pumps, EV chargers, generators, and more. And take 18 months to pay with 0% financing. Call before December 1st. Visit HomeComfortAlliance.com.
You never get a second chance to make a first impression. Superior Linen Service. 98 years providing logoed apparel, uniforms, floor mats, linens, and more. Give us a call. We answer the phone. Superior Linen Service. Visit suplinen.com.
We are well into the rainy season, Seattle, but it's not too late to get your roof replaced. Schedule your free estimate at 3treeroofing.com and get $500 off your roofing project this winter. Our certified technicians build a custom plan for your home, ensuring a worry-free installation even in the winter months. Replace your roof now while material prices are low and lead times are short. Stop wasting your time on costly repairs and Band-Aid fixes. Visit 3treeroofing.com to schedule your free estimate today and secure your $500 discount. 3 Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
After years of football and the injuries that go with it, my first thought was always go get surgery. Hey, it's Dave Wyman, but after a consultation with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine, my eyes were open to an alternative to surgery, and I'm talking about stem cell therapy. Well, and my buddy and co-host Bob Stelton, also in pain, and decided to go see Dr. Wagner.
I had a hip issue from 14 years of jiu-jitsu.
How's the pain now?
Everything I did before, I can do just as well. Hitting the heavy bag, sparring, rolling, all of that is back in play. This whole thing has been such a pleasant surprise because I really was of the mindset, I'm going to have to go under the knife. I'm going to have to get surgery. And this really saved me from that. I could not be happier with the results.
Whether it's a hip like Bob had, a shoulder, a knee, a wrist, an ankle, before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine.
Do it. You will not regret it.
Hey, get the facts, hear from all the patients I've talked to, and schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
A 15-year-old girl who chewed through a rope to escape a serial killer.
I used my front teeth to saw on the rope in my mouth.
The killer prowled the Pacific Northwest in the early 70s. He's been convicted of murdering 2 young women, but suspected of many more.
Maybe there's another one in that area.
Follow and binge all episodes of Stolen Voices of Dole Valley, available now wherever you listen.
This is the home of the Seahawks.
Gonna let one fly deep. Got a man out there. Ball is caught down at the 10-yard line, and it's JSN.
Seattle Sports.
Dave Wyman here, and we've been fortunate to hear from 2 Swedish CyberKnife patients this year, Andy Ryder and Tim Hunter. Both heard about CyberKnife from our radio ads and completed successful treatment, raving about their experiences. Tim was impressed that treatment only took 5 days. Andy hosted a large international delegation the week after his treatment. If you, a friend, or a family member is diagnosed with prostate cancer, consider treatment with Swedish CyberKnife here in Seattle. Go to swedish.org/cyberknifeprostate.
With football season comes colder weather, so if you need new windows and doors, don't drop the ball. Steve Rabel here with Keith Dashafee from locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. So Keith, what's your next big play?
Well, Steve, right now get 40% off qualifying installs or no payments and no interest for 12 months on approved credit.
Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and, of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Josh Naylor press conference coming up at 1 p.m. We're going to air it in full then. We'll let you know if there's any breaking news with it. Prior to that, Bob Condotta joining us at noon. Rob Staton joining us in less than 15 minutes right now. We're talking about kind of unbelievable truths about the NFL through 11 weeks. You're going to start your statement like this. I can't believe I'm saying this, but... And then we're going to address one of the things that are just kind of hard to believe about the NFL. So these are not bold predictions. These are not things that are unlikely. These are things that look very much true this year, and you just can't believe it. All right, Bump, get us started.
Since you took mine for your tease.
You can still use that one.
No, it's not original anymore. I'm done with that.
But you could use that one in addition to another one. Okay.
I'm done with that.
Okay, the tease was, I can't believe I'm saying this, but Drake May might be MVP.
Yeah. But I'm going to go, I can't believe I'm saying this, but the Chiefs might be cooked this year. They might be cooked. They might not make the playoffs. They're still in it. They're 5-5. If they were to start the playoffs today, obviously they're not going to make it. Their schedule doesn't look too tough going forward. You have the Colts, the Cowboys, the Texans, the Chargers, the Titans, the Broncos, and then the Raiders. Not a very hard schedule going forward, but they're not the team that we saw last year. The team we saw last year would win these close games. They'd win a game, the 22-19 game they lost to the Broncos. 28-21 they lost to the Bills. 31-28 they lost to the Jaguars. 20-17 they lost to the Eagles. And 27-21 they lost to the Chargers. They typically win those games. They win 3 or 4 out of 5 of those losses, and they just don't have that it factor right now. But as long as you got Pat Mahomes over there, you're going to have a chance. This next game is going to tell me a lot, though. You got the Colts. Finally, the Colts are going to play somebody. I'm tired of hearing about the Colts and how great they are. If the Colts beat these guys, I'm going to be even more concerned for the Chiefs. But it ain't looking good for the Chiefs.
To tie it on, I can't believe I'm saying this, but the Bo Nix Broncos are gonna win the AFC West, and that's why we're all looking at the Chiefs. The question isn't, and this is they haven't not been in first place since 2016.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
But for the first time since 2016, it is certainly looking like I think it's like all but sure that the Broncos are going to be winning the AFC West, which is quite a jump for them because they broke a playoff drought. They hadn't been 2015. The last time they won it was the last time they were in a Super Bowl, and then they had the drought and then finally got back. So what a way to get back for them. But what's interesting about what the Chiefs have done is while they have faced some tough competition, they've lost to all of them. So, like, you lost to the best teams on your schedule. You lost to the Chargers, who would be a wild card team. You lost to the Bills, who will win their division, but will be an AFC playoff contender. You lost to the Jags, who would be ahead of you in a wild card spot. So you have some key tiebreakers that could be here, not in your favor. And then also you've not really proven much of anything. I mean, a win over the Lions, a commanding win over the Commanders, I guess, completely blew them out. But then the Seahawks did the next week.
Yeah.
So
Chiefs.
I don't know what's up with them, man.
Get your act together.
I have some more here from listeners. I can't believe I'm saying this, says a listener, but you start Russell Wilson if you're the Giants.
Why? I think I'm not mad at Russell starting. And also, did you see the interview he had in the locker room talking about the situation?
No.
Classy as heck, man. It's just took it on the chin, saying, look, I'm just thanking for the opportunity to still be here, all that good stuff. He did what Russell did. But I'm not starting Russell. I'm starting Jameis.
Yeah.
I'm starting Jameis because at this point, man, you got to give the people something to be excited about. And believe it or not, they're excited about Jameis Winston. He scores a touchdown and does a Harlem Shake in the end zone. The interviews are great. It is always about winning ball games, but it's more about keeping your fans engaged. And I think that if you would have tried out Russell Wilson at this point, the New Yorkers are going to New York, and they will boo, and they'll be loud. And I know one of my friends is from New York, and she can't stand Russell Wilson. As soon as Jameis got the start, she was like, yep.
Happy with that.
Rolling with Jameis Winston. And she told me most of her family members feel the same way. Yeah, you've tried that already. You tried the Russell experiment. He's not going to be there next year, I don't think. So why not go with Jameis Winston?
Mine was going to be, I can't believe I'm saying this, but the Colts are number 1 seed. Just the Colts season has been one of those, is this real life things for me.
Mm-hmm.
And there are a lot of questions about Daniel Jones. You've mentioned it before, the same questions we might have about Daniel Jones or the same questions people outside of Seattle have about Sam Darnold. It's that kind of like, but is it for real?
Yeah.
Question. That being said, Jonathan Taylor's been absolutely amazing this year. They are going to have some tougher opponents down the stretch, so we'll see how they hold up. Both you and Shil Kapadia of The Ringer expecting a little regression, but looking like they could be a 1 seed, so that's pretty unbelievable to me. I can't believe I'm saying this, as another listener says, Christian. The Seahawks really do got the best defense in the NFL. Now, Christian says, I don't think it's particularly close.
With your chest.
I think it's arguably close.
Yeah,
I think you could argue. But I think you could argue they have the best defense in the NFL.
Houston's good. Cleveland, that's a waste. They're good. You look at just the overall numbers, just yards given up per game, they're like 7th or something like that. The Hawks against the pass are not very great. They're like 10, 11. Rushing, they are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Oh my God.
When it comes to points, they're like 4th or 5th. Top 5 when it comes to sacks. There's an argument.
Yeah.
I'm not dishing out completely, but there are some things they need to do.
I can't believe I'm saying this, says the 360. But the Seahawks have the best wide receiver in the NFL right now.
They definitely do.
When's the last time that was the case? I'm not talking about, we're fans and we consider it. When's the last time
Steve Largent?
People looked at the Seahawks and said they have the best receiver?
Steve Largent?
No, 90s? Kind of.
No, not in the 90s. That was the worst
you're
era.
right, not in the 90s.
Yeah. This is it.
This is probably it, yeah.
Was Steve Largent considered the best when he was?
Yeah, I mean, he was before Jerry Rice, so I would say there was definitely
I did not
a time
watch
where-
Steve Largent live, obviously.
I don't think any of us did.
I don't think any of us
I don't think
did.
any of us were old enough to.
So unfortunately, I can't attest to how people were talking about it at the time. I personally cannot remember a time when the Seahawks had arguably even the best receiver in the NFL.
Nah, I can't either.
And you can say, I'd love Justin Jefferson. But right now in 2025, who is a better receiver this year than JSN?
Nobody. It's JSN. And you know what? It was funny, too. It's JSN and George Pickens, too, when you just look at yards and or whatnot that are leading the charge. So it's not a change of guard. I think Jamar Chase, obviously, he's number 3 in the league, and then Justin Jefferson is still 7th when it comes to yards with his quarterback situation. But, it's JSN for the win right now.
Yeah. Someone said, speaking of, I can't believe I called it, but G. Scott called it.
G. Scott did call it.
I think
G. Scott was speaking from his heart, and he ended up being right.
Happening.
Ended up being right.
All right, sticking with the Seahawks draft blogs, Rob Staton joining us next.
The Mariners start the offseason with a bang.
It might not be Christmas yet, but Mariners fans, Josh Naylor is going to be under the tree by this week.
Massive bat flip, Josh Naylor.
5-year deal rather than testing free agency.
The fan base has been awesome. It's like almost electric.
He's done it all. Great defense, great at the plate. Insider reaction and analysis at SeattleSports.com.
He's got the snarl on the field, but he is a good teammate.
And the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
When you're at home and next to your windows, do you notice cold air or a draft when the wind blows? How about moisture or leaking during a rainstorm? Dave Wyman here, and after 20 years in our home, our window seals started breaking. A failed window can do major damage to your home, and the older the window, the more likely it is to fail. That's why right now is an excellent time to have Harley Exteriors come by for a no-charge consultation. That's exactly what I had done over the summer, and not only were they extremely knowledgeable about all things windows, I found them to be polite, professional, and respectful. In other words, people you want to do business with. Harley Exteriors has a special offer for Seattle sports fans. Buy 3 windows, get 1 free. No payments or interest until 2027. And take an additional $200 off your project. Call 833-HARLEY or go to harleyexteriors.com. Schedule your free consultation today. They'll give you an honest assessment and quote. Go to harleyexteriors.com.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for fast, friendly service with guaranteed repairs. With 16 family-owned locations and a Carfax preferred badge, Bucky's makes it easy with same-day service and available.
Ryan Roland Smith here. For more than 35 years, the NBA Health Insurance Trust has been helping local builders, contractors, and their employees save money and gain peace of mind. They offer customized group health plans from the state's leading insurance providers. Small and mid-sized businesses deserve big healthcare access. The NBA Health Trust brings you the coverage you want at a price you can trust. Find out more at mbahealthtrust.com. That's mbahealthtrust.com.
Too many breakup songs getting you down? Put a little bossa nova in the playlist. Sometimes a different way is the better way. Like the SR 509 Expressway near SeaTac. Get a good-to-go pass to save $2 every time you use it, and on other toll roads in Washington.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code POWER to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code POWER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code POWER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
With Progressive, you can reach customer service in the way that's easiest for you, by phone, app, or online. We know it would be great if we just magically appeared, but that's more of a genie thing, and we do insurance. But with us, you'd be like, well, it wasn't a genie, but it was great customer service, so that's nice. And sure, you probably would still like the whole 3 wishes thing, so if you meet a genie, you should definitely ask. But when you need us, contact Progressive by phone, app, or online. Just no genies. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other, so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio, so we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
Well, what other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Steelers quarterback Aaron Rodgers will not need surgery after all, suffering a small break in his left wrist. His status for Sunday's Week 12 game against the Bears is uncertain, though. The Seahawks got good news yesterday on a knee injury for rookie guard Gray Zabel. After telling Brock and Salk he was optimistic Monday morning, Mike McDonald told reporters Monday afternoon that imaging showed, quote, nothing significant, and Zabel is day-to-day. Finally, the Mariners made the signing of Josh Naylor official yesterday afternoon. Per Jeff Passan, the deal is 5 years, $92.5 million, with a full no-trade clause.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. All right, we are joined now by Seahawks draft blog Rob Staton on the Emerald Creek Casino Sportsbook Hotline. How we doing, man?
Very good, Michael. How are you?
We're doing okay considering the performance that Sam Darnold had this week. And Rob, I felt so bad for the dude because this was what you're trying to avoid all year. Me personally, I still think he's going to be fine. I think he can bounce back from this. But what were your initial thoughts as you're seeing interception after interception?
I think, like you said, really disappointed for him because he has come on such a journey in his career and he's got to a point now in Seattle where people are looking at him and thinking he's turned a corner and that he's in the MVP race, and then it all comes crashing down in one game. And because the defense played so well, it's very easy to point the finger solely at him and say, well, the Seahawks would have won even if he'd only thrown 3 interceptions instead of 4. Like, then maybe the Seahawks would have won that game. So there's going to be a lot of a focus and attention on him now. Anytime the Seahawks play a big game, whether that's going to be the rematch against the Rams, if it's even going to be against the Colts, if it's going to be in the playoffs down the line, the narrative is going to be, is the same thing going to happen again? Is Sam Darnold going to be able to play a lot better than he did in that game? I think the thing that we need to have a bit of perspective on, though, is this happens to really good quarterbacks all of the time. So I had a little look. So Peyton Manning had 5 games in his career where he threw 4 interceptions. He even had a 6-interception game in his career. Peyton Manning. Matthew Stafford has had 4 games in his career where he's thrown 4 interceptions. Tom Brady had 6 games in his career where he threw 4 interceptions. So good quarterbacks can have games like this. They can have a meltdown performance. The key is how you respond. So let's see how Sam Darnold's going to respond, not just in the next 3 games, but then after that, when the Rams come to Seattle and they have that rematch.
You know, Rob, I did the same thing. I went and saw Lamar Jackson had one, Purdy had one recently, Goff. I'm trying to like give him some confidence as if he needs it from me, but I did the same thing you did. But let's talk about this defense, man. It was impressive what they were able to do against a Matthew Stafford who entered this game with 20 touchdowns, no interceptions. They didn't really run the football effectively. What'd you like about this defense?
Everything. How could you not like everything? Like, the start of the game was a bit weird, that they got that great 4th down stop, and then the offense just gave the ball straight back to the Rams. They were able to get a touchdown. They started off running the ball quite well, which was ominous, but then Seattle just took that away. And Stafford, in fairness, looked a little bit flustered. I think it would have been interesting to see if the Seahawks had actually got a lead in that game, whether the Rams could have done things differently, whether they would have had to force the issue a little bit more, and whether they would have been able to handle that. Because it was like 135 yards, something like that, for Matthew Stafford in a game when every single week he's just looked unstoppable. It's been the MVP leader. I genuinely think after that game, with the way that he played, yes, he avoided the mistakes, didn't really have to do too much. They were ahead quite early on. I think after that game, Jonathan Taylor, for me, looks like he should be the MVP favorite instead of Matthew Stafford, because that was his first real test since week 1 against a serious defense, when they played the Texans in week 1 and they played the Seahawks last weekend. And in neither of those games, he's not been that spectacular. He has been able to perform very well against some struggling opponents. So I think the all credit to the Seattle defense. They're continuing to play very, very well. There's so much delight. That looks to me like a championship defense. And now all we need is the offense to get over this performance, get back on track. And if they can pair that up in the next few weeks and get some momentum going into the postseason, then Seattle will have a shot, because this defense is a top-notch defense.
still some positive with his offense too, right? You got JSN that goes for 105 going into this game. We're looking at Oluwatimi. How's he going to do? You did lose Zabel. Sounds like he's going to be okay. But let's focus on JSN. How is he able to, even in a game where it feels like this offense is struggling, how's he able to still go for 105?
I don't know. I wish I had a better answer for you, because he's not the biggest receiver, is he? He's not 6'4". He's not going to run a 4.2, 5.40. He just makes everything look so easy. That's the natural talent of this man is so impressive, because he is calm, he's composed, but he never seems to be two up or two down. Like he just runs his routes. People find it very hard to cover him. He's got a natural instinct in a way to get open. His movements seem very subtle, and he's reliable. That one-handed catch that he made, just how do you make a catch like that? It's just unbelievable. The man should be. If we go back to the scenario I was talking about, let's say that Jonathan Taylor ended up being the MVP. Jackson Smith-Njigba should be Offensive Player of the Year, and it shouldn't even be a debate for me. Now, if Matt Stafford wins MVP or somebody else, there's a good chance that Jonathan Taylor will win Offensive Player of the Year. But he's on cue to break the 2,000-yard barrier for receivers, to be the first ever player to do that. I was asked a question on a different show last week. You know, is it likely that he's going to break this record? And I said, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, for me, there's no doubt. If he stays healthy, he's going to get to 2,000 yards, because there's just this inevitability about him. It doesn't matter what coverage you have, what plan you come into the game, Jackson Smith-Njigba is going to get his yards. And he is playing, if you were to pick sort of the 10 best players at any position in the NFL this season, you'd have to put JSN amongst those 10.
Yeah, and he's gonna clearly break the franchise record maybe in a couple of weeks at 1,303 yards over here for the Seahawks, which is ridiculous. Let's talk about this O-line. How did you feel they performed? No sacks given up. Olu, I felt like, did okay, and Zabel went down late.
Well, the thing with an offensive line is, unless they play perfectly, unless they play like the 2014 Cowboys, there's always going to be like something that you can point a finger at. And, you know, we've all seen it every single week. There is a snap or two where Anthony Bradford maybe doesn't do something perfectly, and he's getting a lot of criticism for that. What I would say is that just consider how far we've come from a year ago, where every single week the offensive line was a talking point with fans and in the media. It was just not functioning. The offense could not function because of the offensive line. To have another game where there's no sacks, to have another game where, you know, quite frankly, Sam Darnold did not throw those interceptions because he was just under relentless pressure. It was mistakes on his behalf, you know, not maybe using enough anticipation with those throws, forcing things a little bit too much. That gunslinger mentality, which has been so good at times this year, came back to bite him in this game. It's not because of the offensive line. Now, if you could have said at the start of this season, what's the one thing as someone who watches the Seahawks that you would want to see as a big improvement this year, I think most people would have said, I want to see a better offensive line. That's exactly what you've got. And that Gray Zabel news, I must have been a few people who were celebrating like the Seahawks had won a game yesterday when Mike McDonald came out and said they've dodged one there, in that it's not a serious injury, it's week to week. That's really positive news. They need to get him back on the field as soon as possible. This is majorly encouraging, not just for this season, but for the future. You now have at least 3 building block young players for your offensive line. There's still a chance that whether it's Olu, whether it's Sundell, maybe even Anthony Bradford, I'm not going to completely rule that one out, could also be part of a young core for the future. And the one thing the Seahawks have never had in my time following the team is consistency up front. They change the center every year. They've had a different center for the last 5 years. Eventually, you've got to put some roots down. You've got to have a line that knows each other. They know their teammates. They know how they're going to work. They're working 5 as 1. So it looks as if they're getting into that place now. And this is just possibly the most important thing from this season, whatever happens the rest of the way.
All right, let's talk big picture now. I have to remind myself, Rob, this team is still 7-3. I know that loss hurts, but you're 7-3. You got Tennessee this weekend. You're probably going to go to 8-3. You're in the wild card spot. Did this game change the way that you view this team and your expectations for them?
No, absolutely not. I've always kind of felt that the Rams and the Seahawks are probably going to split these two games. It was the national radio game that we were covering for the BBC this week. And they asked me for a prediction before, and I said, look, one way or another, I think it's going to be 1-on-1 between the Seahawks and the Rams this year. They're both really good teams. it's a bit of a sitting on the fence answer when you sort of go with a prediction there. But I do think that they're good enough that they're going to split this series. So the fact that the Rams have won this one by 2 points, even when the Seahawks threw 4 interceptions, to me makes me feel very confident that when they play again on Thursday Night Football in a few weeks' time, the Seahawks will win this game. I think the main thing for me, and this is the one thing that bothers me the most about not winning this game. It's not the Sam Darnold 4 interceptions. I think he'll come over that. And that Ernest Jones post-game interview was absolutely exceptional, by the way. He said everything that needed to be said to draw a line under it as much as you could. And the fact that I've been watching national conversations about Darnold's performance, and they've been going to Ernest Jones' press conference and spending 5 minutes on that instead of talking about Darnold, shows what an amazing teammate and what an amazing job that was with that press conference. But the main thing for me is they're still looking for a signature win. If you look at the last 2 years, here are the teams that they lost to last year: Detroit, Buffalo, the Rams, the Packers, the Vikings. All of those teams made the playoffs. And they split with the Niners, who were 6-11 but had a whole bunch of injuries. You know, there wasn't a signature win last year. And so far this season, their 3 losses are against the Niners, the Buccaneers, and the Rams. Eventually, they're going to have to play a team, preferably in the NFC, who is a contender, that's a guaranteed playoff team, and they're going to have to win one of these games. It's really good that they're blowing out the Saints and the Cardinals and teams like that. They've got to beat somebody like the Rams. They've got to beat somebody like the 49ers, the Buccaneers, the Packers, the Lions. They're going to get an opportunity to do that when they play the Colts and obviously play the Rams down the line and then the Niners again to finish the season. And then they're going to have the playoffs. That's the next step for this team. They've got to beat a really good contender to show, yes, you know, we belong in the conversation for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I agree 100%. You got to prove yourself against the big dogs is what I say. There's a piece to this team that hasn't really been unlocked yet. You kind of see what they're trying to do with Rashid Shaheed. What have you seen out of him, and how do you think they get the most out of him?
Yeah, I want to see him throw it downfield a bit more. Some of those interceptions, there was something that Mike McDaniel, the Dolphins coach, said when the Dolphins beat the Bills. And they asked him about Tua Tagovailoa throwing 2 interceptions. And he said, yeah, do you know what? It was 3rd and long. And I just asked him to throw the ball downfield. And if it gets picked off, it's basically an arm punt. And if you make a big play, you get a pass interference flag, it's a huge moment. Now, if Sam Darnold, if a couple of those interceptions at the weekend were, do you know what? It's 3rd down. Let's just launch this downfield to Rashid Shaheed and see if he can run underneath it and make a big play or get penalized. You know, if there's a flag, then you're downfield anyway. That's kind of tolerable. That's the one thing I want to see so far. Like, just use his speed. They're using him a lot at the line of scrimmage at the moment. Let's see him just run past somebody and see if he can make a big play downfield like we saw for the Saints this year. The disappointing thing is he was so close to a touchdown at the weekend. Yeah. And that is an amazing play by Emmanuel Forbes. You know, that recovery and the long arms. His arms were just so, they were like as long as a leg, you know, to get out there and flick that ball away from Shaheed. And if that is scored, maybe it's a different game. I mean, it's the same with the Ken Walker touchdown that was called back on the hold. You know, if one of those touchdowns is scored, we might be sat here reflecting on a huge Seahawks win at the weekend. So fine margins. I'm interested to see with the teams that they're playing in the next 3 weeks whether he can have a one game where he can really bust things open here and have a big play downfield.
You know, they say game of inches, man, and that was it right there. A couple more inches, and Shaheed has his first touchdown as a Seahawk. Let's check in on Pete Carroll, man. I'm concerned for Pete, man. You saw that game last night. Geno Smith, 14 yards rushing, leading rusher of that team. We know what the Cowboys can do. Good offensive team, right? But it just does not look good in Las Vegas right now.
Raiders are a mess. They're a complete disaster. And I was watching that game, and that's not a Pete Carroll team. You know, Pete Carroll is not running the ball 3 times in the first half and throwing it, what was it, like 22 times or something like that? And you look at the end, and you've drafted a running back 6th overall, and he's run the ball like 6 times in the game. That's not Pete Carroll football. And it makes me think that, look, Tom Brady has obviously got connections to Bill Belichick. Chip Kelly and Bill Belichick are very close. I genuinely think that Chip Kelly as offensive coordinator hire was a Brady thing rather than a Pete Carroll thing. And I don't think that there's necessarily they're seeing eye to eye on that. Now, Pete Carroll said all the right things after the game about, you know, blame it on me. This is my idea. We wanted to play action and throw it all over the park. That's not a Pete Carroll team. Geno Smith is struggling. He's still throwing interceptions. It's certainly not all his fault. The Raiders roster does not look good enough, but it is quite sad to see. You know, Pete Carroll has gone there probably thinking, I'm going to get the band back together, bring some familiar faces in, and maybe even show the Seahawks what they're missing. And it's gone completely wrong to the point that you kind of wonder whether this is going to be a one and done for Geno and Pete Carroll in Las Vegas. And I'm keeping a close eye on it because there's one or two players. If the Raiders want to blow things up in the offseason and sort of rebuild and try and get some picks into that organization, there's a couple of players, one of them Max Crosby, and you know, I very much doubt they would trade Brock Bowers, but there's a couple of players there that I'd be picking up the phone and finding out whether Tom Brady wants some of these draft picks for 2026, 2027, because there's a couple of good players there that the Seahawks could really use next year if they were open for business.
I'm with you 100%, man. It's our weekly visit with Rob Staton. Rob, man, we appreciate you. Talk to you next week.
Thanks, man.
Let's get to 4-down territory.
This is 4-down territory, going inside the game. What former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
First down bump, whose talents are being wasted?
Myles Garrett, get the heck out of Cleveland.
He's trapped.
4 sacks last game. 4 sacks. And against Lamar Jackson, too. It's not like some statue standing in the pocket, giving you all this time and opportunity to get after him. I feel bad for the guy. I do and I don't, because he just signed a deal. He took the money, so he put himself in that situation. But Myles Garrett, man, he's it's almost like we don't fully appreciate who he is and what he's done because of where he is. He's in Cleveland, where absolutely nothing is going right at this point. But yeah, I look at Myles Garrett. I went back and looked at all his sacks from this past game and some other snaps, and he just moves different. I mean, he's got a game with 5 sacks against the Patriots, obviously 4 against Baltimore, had 2 against Cincinnati to start the season. He's just he's a great player, and I think he's being lost over there in Cleveland, unfortunately. But Myles Garrett, if you guys don't really pay attention, you just kind of watch the numbers, just go watch some of his snaps, man. He's clearly the best defensive lineman in this game.
It really is a shame because he should be the defensive player of the year. He will be the defensive player of the year. He's also 7.5 sacks away from tying the NFL record, 8 sacks away from setting a new one, with 7 games to play. This is not like, oh, he needs 8 sacks to set a record in 2 games, 3 games. This is 1 sack in a game. Like, you set an NFL record.
Yeah, he's close. I hope he gets it, man. I hope he gets it.
He's on pace to smash it, which is, who knows, right? And then barring injury, of course, maybe you miss 3 weeks in there or whatever, but it's just a shame that that's probably going to be a new NFL record, and it'll happen in a year where he's not going to playoffs. Nope. Second down. What did you think of Shedeur Sanders' performance this weekend?
Here's what I didn't like about Shedeur Sanders. After the game, he didn't find Lamar Jackson and shake his hand. It's kind of weird. Like, he's sitting on the bench. I understand he's probably frustrated or whatnot.
He keeps messing things like that up, just like random things.
Just get up. Go find. It's Lamar Jackson, too. You want to shake his hand anyway.
That's a common knowledge thing. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
a flag on the play.
Yeah, he was tripping on that. But he was 4 for 16 for 47 yards, 1 interception. He was sacked 2 times. The offensive lineman said they've never heard his cadence before. He's haven't gotten work with the ones all year, which I think is a disservice. I understand you have Dylan Gabriel over there. You have Joe Flacco as well. But at some point, you got to give this man 1 or 2 snaps with the ones, at least a couple times a week. So I think the Browns set him up for failure. But when he had time in the pocket, he wasn't that bad. I know you're looking at 4 for 16, but he wasn't that bad. But that offensive line didn't help him out. There's no chemistry there. You didn't have a game plan for Shedeur Sanders. So I'm waiting to see what this week looks like. How he's going to prepare. Is there going to be an opportunity for him? And if they do give him reps with the ones, can he have a better performance? But when there's time, he's okay. He's just not a really athletic quarterback. He's going to be in the pocket. He's going to have to stand there and go through his reads. And when you are an NFL quarterback, you got to make sure your protection is right. You got to make sure you go through your progressions. The game is faster than playing at Colorado against a Big 10 or Big 12 type of talent over there. But I thought it was okay for the little bit that I saw. It's too hard to look at 16 attempts and say, oh, he's going to be a bust. He's going to be great. Yeah. So I want to give him another week and see how he grows.
Can I say one thing about Shedeur, and I want to know how you feel and whether you agree? I agree that the Browns are not setting him up for success in the best way. I also disagree that somehow they're trying to sabotage him intentionally. Like, people will be like screenshotting, like, the linemen are setting him up to fail, and it's like, this is just bad pass pro.
Yeah.
This is a guard making presumably a mistake. I'm not into the X's and O's enough to know exactly what his assignment was, but like, this just looks like a regular mistake you'd see a million times. I don't think the league is setting up Shedeur to like, we're going to make him crash on his face.
No.
You're on a bad team.
You're just on a horrible team.
You're on a horrible team. And it's a bummer. I agree. You should have gotten some first team reps. That is a tough situation to be thrown into, but I don't think it's intentional. Third down. What changes need to be made in the run game?
Ken Walker needs more touches consecutively. When he was playing last week, there's a drive where I feel like he got like 4 or 5 consecutive, not back-to-back plays, but in that drive, 4 or 5, and you see him starting to loosen up. You see him starting to feel the flow of the game. He has the 18th most carries in the game right now, but he has the 3rd most explosive plays. I love Zach Charbonnet. I think he's good inside the 10 and the 5, and he even has like a 30-something yard run as well. But the more I watch Ken Walker, the more I see that he just needs touches to kind of get in the rhythm and get in the zone. He got 16 touches last game. It's not bad. I think that's tied for the most. Nope, the second most he's had all year. Had 19 against the Arizona Cardinals. But I see it, and I think that they have to be a bit more patient with him, at least to start the game. Let him get in the flow early. If it ain't working, then obviously you bring in Zach Charbonnet. But there was a time during that game where I'm talking to Paul and B. Wald and NASA, and I'm like, look, he's starting to feel it. You see it. He's a rhythm guy, and Turbo is the one who put me onto that. He goes, Turbo said, I need at least 15 touches before I start really feeling the game. So, yeah, man, I think it's time, man. You got to get Ken Walker a few more touches. And but part of that is on him because he has to be good in pass pro. And I think that's where Zach Charbonnet has the edge, and he has to get north-south. But I think he's earned a few more carries next week.
Third down. Sorry, second. Fourth down. I know. Sorry, Matt.
What down is it?
I'm sorry. I'm Tom Brady over here. Anything from Rob Staton?
Yeah. He said that you probably have 3 pieces, possibly 4 pieces on this offensive line that are like the building blocks. Right? You got your tackles. You have Gray Zabel, and I think you're trying to figure out like the center and the other guard spot. I think they're closer to having their group than people might think. He also said that they still need a signature win. And I agree. I called the Commanders a signature win because it was like an introduction to the country. But he's absolutely right. You haven't beaten any contenders yet. You're capable of beating them, but you just haven't. Like the 3 contenders that you've lost to, it was by 4 points one game.
Yeah.
It was by, 3 points another game and 2 points this game. So, yeah, I still think they should be in everyone's top 10 when it comes to power rankings. I think the Rams and Eagles, like I said last week, are the best teams in the game right now. But they are still searching. They're still looking for that big win. And the next opportunity they're going to have for that is going to be against the Rams in 12-18. So just stay the course, beat the teams you're supposed to beat. But when it's time to line up against the Rams again, you have to win that game.
I'll tell you what's crazy about the Rams that I forgot until this morning. Again, I was listening to the Yahoo Sports podcast. I forgot that they own Atlanta's first-round pick.
Who does?
The Rams. Meaning they look very much like a playoff team. I hope that they don't win the NFC and win the division. I hope that's Seattle, and Seattle looks phenomenal as well. But the Rams could do that and have a top 10 pick.
Yeah, Atlanta 3-7, just lost Michael Penix for the year.
Atlanta's made weird decisions. And what's weird about their decisions is they've been done in a way to give themselves lots of room for failure, and then it ended up, you know what I mean? Like, what if you are now in the market for another quarterback?
Yeah.
You had to. That was the whole thing, is you were like, we don't want to be in this place again. So either the free agent works out or our first-round pick works out. And right now it's neither.
Look where you are. Same spot.
Yeah. And the Seahawks are going to be facing that version of the Falcons. All right. One of the top college football coaches just got an ultimatum. That's next.
Down on the field is Gray Zabel.
A big sigh of relief for the Seahawks.
Really fortunate. I guess we avoided a significant injury, which is really positive.
While Zabel recovers.
Could be day to day, could be a week, could be more than that.
Who steps up?
God bless Christian Haynes, man. He came in there. He's a tough sucker with heavy hands.
This is the home of the Seahawks. Seattle Sports on 710, the Seattle Sports app, and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
Stacy here to tell you that I have had horrible experiences buying and selling a car, so I know a good one when I see it and feel it. And that's why I want to tell you about Wayscar Ford in Auburn. These are real people I've worked with, Mark and Chris, and Way himself. Way is real. I know them, and you will too. They want you to have a hassle-free, no-pressure experience when you're looking to sell your car or buy a new one. And let me tell you what, trusting the people you're working with is massive. Again, I really did sell my old car years ago to this place that absolutely ripped me off, and I wish I would have known about what Wayscar Ford does, which is this. You sell your car to Wayscar Ford and get paid for it that day. The whole process takes less than 30 minutes. Then, when they resell your old car, they give half the profit to you. What's the catch? There isn't one. They get to save money on auction fees and travel expenses, and you get to avoid hassle and a scam. They've just surpassed sharing over $1 million with people who have sold them their cars. Find out how you can do it too at wayscarford.com.
You gave years, maybe decades to your job. You showed up, worked hard, and planned for retirement. But now the company's changed, or maybe you've taken a buyout or been forced into early retirement. So what happens next? I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. And if you've built up a 401k or thrift savings plan, now is the time to ask, is that money really working for you? Many workplace retirement plans offer limited options and even less guidance. At Trajan Wealth, we help people just like you roll over their accounts into IRAs with more flexibility and personalized investment strategies built around your goals. For households with $500,000 or more, let us build you a personalized plan. We operate on veteran values, service, trust, and doing what's right. Your next chapter starts now. Call Trajan Wealth, 206-466-3300. That's 206-466-3300.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
As a quarterback, you cannot run a winning play with a messy playbook. And most companies' data, well, it's a mess. AI is changing the game, but if your data is scattered, you're stuck on the sidelines. Brock Heward here, and this is where my friends at Marquee Data come in. They get your data in shape, clean, connected, ready to perform, so you can finally put AI to work for your business. Whether sales, finance, or operations, every smart move starts with the right data. So head to mydataqb.com to draw up your game-winning data play today. That's Marquee Data or mydataqb.com.
Wow, look at these Black Friday deals on TVs. Samsung, Sony, and LG at the lowest prices of the year, even on their top-rated models. Now we can get that top-rated Samsung we were thinking about, but we'll need to get up early on Friday.
These are great deals, but why wait? Video Only has all these deals right now. We can get what we want today, and they're even offering no interest financing.
So we can get these Black Friday deals right now at Video Only and pay it off later?
Yep, and many of their prices are better than those flyers.
Better than Black Friday? No wonder Video Only got those high scores when they rated TV stores. Let's head over now and beat the crowds.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or dishwashers, but you will find the best deals on the best TVs, soundbars, and home theater systems. Shop around, but then make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In South Center, Bellevue, Linwood, Federal Way, and Tacoma, Video Only.
The home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports. Touchdown! Seahawks! Ken Walker III! Get everything Seahawks at seattlesports.com.
This is for all you guys on Viagra. ED pills are no longer needed. The brutal side effects like 4-hour headaches, blurred vision, and that flush feeling can all be put behind you with our treatment. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we have a better approach to ED. Acoustic wave therapy creates blood flow circulation by safely removing the plaque in your arteries and restoring function naturally. Guys, let me be clear. Pills will never fix your problem. Our equipment is the latest technology, and our medical staff is the best in the industry. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. If you suffer from ED or Peyronie's disease, give West Coast Men's Health a call today. It's not just about better health. It's about a better life.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
I had pain, I had numbness in my feet. That pain and that numbness just got worse and worse and worse as time went on.
This is Greg describing life with neuropathy.
I went to 5 podiatrists, tried different treatments, tried different orthotics, tried different shoes, had cortisone shots in the tops and the bottoms of my feet. It's all neurologists. All my medical doctors said, can't help you. live with the pain. You're not going to be able to sleep. This is your life. And then I just gave up until I found Sound Pain Solutions.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. Our neuropathy treatments can rehabilitate damaged nerves. We use FDA-cleared, non-surgical, drug, and pain-free procedures that help neuropathy sufferers like Greg find relief.
I feel better. I mean, just feeling better is huge.
If you experience numbness, shooting or burning pains, or loss of balance, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025, or click soundpainsolutions.com.
This is The Timeline
with Bump and Stacy.
Brought to you by 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
The biggest question in college football right now is, where will Lane Kiffin coach in 2026? Our first story in The Timeline. He's a top candidate for both the LSU and Florida jobs, and it turns out we might get an answer a lot sooner than expected. Like a definitive answer, because Ole Miss has reportedly, according to the New York Times and The Athletic, given Lane Kiffin a deadline of November 28th, the same day as Ole Miss's rivalry game against Mississippi State, to make a decision on his coaching future. Kiffin's family was reportedly spotted in both Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and Gainesville, Florida this past week, so definitely being courted for those jobs. Kiffin is being asked about it plenty. He spoke post-game, had this to say.
I don't think we were distracted. 538 yards today for an offense seems pretty focused. So we've been dealing with what people would say been a distraction for weeks now, including at Oklahoma, who's a pretty good team. So I think it's different nowadays. I told you, I think kids think differently. They're getting pre-portaled every Saturday night. They play well from other people. So I just talk to them and say, hey, that's part of the process, man. When you guys play really well, these things happen. Your coach gets talked about, and it ain't the first year it's happened around here. So I don't think it's a problem.
Saying, look, we're not being distracted by this, and the nature of college football is that, the players themselves are having these kind of rumors about them. We're used to this. It's fine. He also, though, didn't want to talk about LSU or Florida's interest in him at all.
I love what we're doing here. Today was awesome, and I don't talk about that stuff. And really, to even talk about it right now would be so disrespectful to our players and how well they played today. We got a lot of things going here, doing really well, and I love it here.
I would think that he'd go to LSU if it weren't a job that currently has, what is it, Curtis? Is it the governor bump? The governor?
Yeah,
governor.
He's the one leading the coaching search,
that's
basically.
just a lot of overreach, and it is a reminder in your face of how many other voices are going to be making those decisions.
I would love for him to stay at Ole Miss.
Me too.
And just kind of keep riding that wave and build that thing and make it a powerhouse. But it's so enticing when you have the LSUs and the Floridas knocking on your door. He has one of the best offenses in the country, averaging 493 per game. That's third best. And they got a good thing going over there. But money is going to talk, and legacy is going to talk. And, Lane Kiffin comes from a football family. He's been around this game for so long. Who knows what's on his goals, right? Writing down your goals. What's on his checklist? Is it to be a head coach at a Blue Blood? Who knows? But this is just what college football is now. And I think he said it perfectly. Like, this isn't the first time. It won't be the last time. Coaches get talked about all the time, and now the players understand as well. It's not like the players are sitting there and saying, how could you, coach? How could you leave us? No, because they're being approached every single week about transferring, about NILs and all that stuff. It's really a business now. But you got to stay where you are and hopefully ride this thing out.
One thing about Kiffin and his career, though, and I would say LSU and Florida are two of the premier jobs in college football for sure. Kiffin has had premier jobs in college football before, notably USC, even Tennessee, and both of those flamed out spectacularly.
Wasn't he left on
He was fired on the tarmac by USC's athletic director.
One of my core memories of Lane Kiffin.
I kind of wonder if he's one of those guys that maybe just shines better at a school or a place that doesn't have such an intense spotlight. He was also the head coach of the Raiders at one point too, and that ended poorly for him too. Like, this is, you've got a great thing going at Ole Miss, and I feel like they can definitely have a shot at a national championship this year. I think they're 6th in the country right now and are playing really good ball. Like, is the grass that much greener at LSU and Florida, where the expectations are a season like you're having at Ole Miss may be not enough.
Well, and Ole Miss is no slouch and still wants to wield a lot of power here. Paul Feinbaum, in fact, thinks that Ole Miss, very, very serious about this, that they wouldn't even let Kiffin coach in the college football playoff if he was still undecided by Thanksgiving weekend.
Well, what is going on is Lane Kiffin, Matt, is not stopping all this speculation. It's pretty easy to do. We've seen it before. He simply says, I'm staying at Ole Miss. The school announces an extension, even though they've done that a couple of times now, and it's over. And that really is the interesting part. We talked about it yesterday on the Matt Berry podcast. I think we both believe that Lane Kiffin wants to go to Florida. The problem is the playoffs. Could he possibly walk out? Remember in, 2016? Lane Kiffin got the job at Florida Atlantic. He kind of dogged it in a playoff game, and Nick Saban fired him a week before the championship game, costing Saban a championship that year. I don't think Lane Kiffin wants to go through that again.
Peak Paul Feinbaum also to be. We both know he wants to go to the SEC. It's obvious. Who wouldn't? Do you think he wants to go to Florida? Do you think it's obvious?
I think legacy matters to him, and I think that he wants to be considered as one of the best coaches to ever do this. Can he do it at Ole Miss? You would have to win a national championship. It's a lot harder there. Could you do it at Florida? You got some things you got to do over there as well. I think he doesn't know yet, but from what I know of him, he's a highly motivated person. And legacy matters. Your legacy is going to grow if you go to Florida or LSU.
Well, in recruiting at Florida and LSU, look, I'm not, far be it from me to say you can't recruit Ole Miss, but Florida, open the door, walk out, drive around a couple neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Like, that's where some of the best talent in college football is coming from anyways. So, I don't know. What job would you guys take between Ole Miss, Florida,
Florida. I'm
LSU.
not messing with the governor. I don't want that smoke.
Yeah?
I don't want him breathing down my neck.
Florida?
Yeah, I go Florida.
Curtis, what about you? What job would you take between the three if you were Lane Kiffin?
I think you have the biggest chance. I think your best chance to win big is at LSU. I think with their NIL pockets, and we've seen the amount of like superstar athletes that have come out of LSU in the last like 5 to 10 years, and it's not just it's like Joe Burrow, it's Jaden Daniels, it's Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase. Like it's ridiculous the amount of talent they're able to draw, and it's not just like one head coach bringing in those guys, it's multiple head coaches bringing in those guys. Yes, there is a lot of overreach and you're dealing with a lot of crazies at LSU, but you're also dealing with a fan base that expects the best. The drama that's always follows Lane Kiffin everywhere would be incredible to watch, but I think if I'm ranking these three jobs, LSU would probably be the one that I'd be most intrigued by, even with the bad boss around.
Bump, when was the last time that we can remember? So neither of you said Ole Miss, which is notable.
Yeah,
Well, I asked because when's the last time that, like, what does that mean for a college football playoff appearance? What does that mean? Because this deadline would be there's still games left to play here.
Right.
So what now?
I think if you're Ole Miss, you've got to stand your ground and tell Lane Kiffin, we're serious about this. Like, I get that a college football playoff is within reach, but also you got to think about next year and year after, because like if Lane Kiffin leaves, like all these kids are going to go into the portal and you're going to be right back at square one. And it just, if I'm Ole Miss, I say bet. Like, you're going to leave?
Yeah, well, it sounds like they
are. Let's see it.
If I'm Ole Miss, I'm letting him coach this team to the college football playoffs and try to get as far as you can, because you don't know when you're going to be here again. So I get them because they want some stability. They want to know what their future is. But you're a top 5 program in the country right now, and this guy is the reason why you are.
Yeah.
I'd let him coach. I'd let him coach all the way through this thing, no matter what.
Real question that I have. How does coaching and contract stuff work? My own experience in college is coach leaves somewhere else, still season left to play, but he's gone. So now, is this like it
would be like a firing in a way.
Right? Because doesn't he, I don't know, genuinely, how does it work? Like if he says, I want to take the Florida job.
Oh, then it would be.
Are they like, see ya?
Florida's got to pay.
They got to take some of that. Florida has to pick up the contract.
Yeah, Florida's got to pay his
So
buyout.
he leaves he's not there coaching at all for the rest of the for the playoffs.
Yeah, he would not be able to finish out if he was.
I think I'm with Bump on this
basically
one.
recruiting for another school.
I can understand Ole Miss being like, hey, make a decision. Like, we know that we're putting pressure on you to choose us if you think that a playoff appearance is at stake or like a playoff run's at stake. But if you're pretty sure he's going to choose Florida, you're ending your season. You're ending your season.
This comes down to a conversation we had last week. Just know who you are. Ole Miss, know who you are. You're not one of these blue bloods. You're not one of these schools that are going to be in the mix every single year. So if you have an opportunity this year, and even though you know he might be gone, man, I'm letting that dude coach. So, all right, let's just go out with a bang then.
An NFL expert explains what he saw in the Seahawks' loss to the Rams and why there's still plenty to like. That's next.
Wyman and Bob.
To me, the biggest thing about this Naylor deal
every afternoon at 2
is not that they signed him, not that he makes sense, that he fits perfectly. All of that is true. What it represents to me is a shift in philosophy with ownership, with the front office. It's the biggest free agent deal since Jerry DiPoto's been in charge. And to me, this represents a huge change in philosophy that I hope continues while they address other positions.
Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton, only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
Fall rains can expose hidden roof problems, and once water gets in, the damage only gets worse. Is your roof ready for the season? Hi, Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. At State Roofing and Exteriors, we repair and replace roofs with a quality you've trusted for decades. And yes, we also provide siding, windows, decks, and gutters to keep your entire home protected. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to schedule a free estimate. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit MuckleshootCasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot.
My perfect day has sand, salt water, and friends. But my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, most people saw 90% clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Honey, look, 4 calling birds.
Do they have cell phones?
Well, yeah, they're called calling birds because they have 4 lines of Cricket 5G.
How do they pay?
Oh, easy. Each line is only $25 a month.
Who are they calling?
Beats me. One sec, gotta take this.
Join Cricket Nation and get 4 lines for $25 per month each. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Cricket may temporarily slow data speeds if the network is busy. New lines only. All lines must be selected. Unlimited plan fees. Terms and restrictions apply. Cricket 5G requires a compatible device and is not available everywhere. See cricketwireless.com for details.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
A 15-year-old girl who chewed through a rope to escape a serial killer.
I used my front teeth to saw on the rope in my mouth.
The killer prowled the Pacific Northwest in the early 70s. He's been convicted of murdering 2 young women, but suspected of many more.
Maybe there's another one in that area.
Follow and binge all episodes of Stolen Voices of Dole Valley, available now wherever you listen.
The Bump and Stacy Show is powered in part each day by the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law Personal Injury Lawyers. Go to pendergastlaw.com.
You've heard the saying, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. Since 1926, my family's been helping local businesses make great first, second, and long-term impressions. We know how to make your company look good with quality uniforms, logoed apparel, floor mats, linens, and more. If you're paying for linen service or doing it yourself, let's have the conversation. The information and quote are free, but the savings and service can really add up. Visit suplinen.com. Superior Linen Service. It's what we do.
Hey, Mike Salk here for my friends at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel, and obviously New Year's is coming up. Can you believe it? Book your stay at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel for an evening of elegance at a night at the Grand Ball. This New Year's Eve celebration includes the legendary DJ Super Sam. And sports fans, you got to check out the Hawks Peak, your home for game days with great food and drinks, more than 60 TVs, so you won't miss a play, and a heated, covered outdoor deck with those great views of the Snoqualmie Valley. Seattle's closest is now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
If you use carpool or toll lanes along SR 167, some things have changed, and some things haven't. Using those lanes without a good-to-go account means you'll receive a bill in the mail. That is a change. You'll always pay the lowest toll rate with good-to-go. No change. Carpoolers now need a Flex Pass set to HOV mode to ride free. That's a change. Does a good-to-go pass still save you $2 on every toll? Definitely not a change. Learn more at goodtogo167.com. Free Flex Passes while supplies last.
Guys, want long-term health you can count on? It starts with knowing your numbers. Right now, Revive Men's Health Washington is offering a comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value for just $99. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. Take control of your health today and stay strong for the long haul. Offer ends November 30th. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111 or visit revivemenshealth.com today. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bump and Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2
on Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Daniel Jeremiah on Brock and Salk talked about the good and bad from the Seahawks loss, plus what critics really need to understand about where Sam Darnold probably is right now and about playing a quarterback. Let's start with his read, Bump, like you did, on all four of Sam Darnold's interceptions.
I'll give them to you. Back foot floater on the first one, which, that's a mechanical thing. You can't do that. The second one, I didn't put on him because you have 3-on-2 in pass pro. They run a game. 75 does not pick it up. So you've got the back and you've got the guard and the tackle for two rushers. They just run a simple twist. They get a clean run through, hits Sam in the chest as the ball comes out. He doesn't get anything on the throw because he's getting hit. And there's no part of him that would have thought you're going to get a clean run through when you've got three blockers for two rushers over there. So that one's the forgiving one. Then the next one, you get him just locking on. He just doesn't come off of it. He locks on and takes him right to the football. And then the final one, which was probably the most, it's a 3rd and 3, but the most egregious to me is that's why I just wrote it's a hero interception. He's trying to dodge 3 guys and then trying to make some incredible jump throw. That was just him doing way too much. So,
I always appreciate context for everything. It's not always, hey, your quarterback sucks, turning the ball over. It's, there's some hero ball in there. There's some, mechanic stuff going in there. Does that line up with a lot of what you saw too?
Perfectly.
Yeah.
That's it, man. I think he nailed it, especially that back foot one, man. And like I said, I saw him drifting back and throwing that football. Yeah. Nothing usually doesn't good come from that. The stunt on the right side with Anthony Bradford and your tackle over there, he was absolutely correct. You got 3 guys to block 2. Zach Charbonnet looking for the linebacker. He doesn't go, so he starts to check out. Anthony Bradford gets hit with a stunt. He probably completes that pass if he can step in it. The one on Arroyo, like I said, he was bracketed. You stared him down. Safety sat on him. You're supposed to just eat that. And then with the jump throw was that one was like, come on now, calm down.
Daniel, speaking of the jump throw, Daniel Jeremiah said, a little less hero ball, maybe. Trust the pieces around you.
No, I mean, you don't average what he's averaging per attempt. You don't do that by playing, scared and those things. I just think and there's certain games against this team, the way and feeling out the game, kind of how your defense was playing, you're controlling Matthew Stafford, you're controlling the clock, all those things. I just thought in this game, maybe it didn't call for that same aggression, and we could have just lived a little bit more outside the numbers.
There are a number of turnovers Seattle's going to have by virtue of just being an aggressive downfield team.
Yeah.
Got to live with it. That's the delicate line you're walking. How do you balance wanting to be aggressive and cutting back on some of those turnovers?
Man, you just have to believe in your progression and have your feet set, right? Your eyes have to match your feet have to match your eyes, and then you got to be better with the offensive line too. I mean, you have to – there's no way that Sam Darnold thought that he was going to get hit on that play when you have 3 to block 2, and you're not getting blitzed in that situation as well. There are a lot of things. I mean, you could scheme up a few things. You know, I'm sure there are some plays that or some looks that Kubiak probably didn't anticipate, but that happens every single game. There are some things that you can do. I want to respond to this text real quick, though.
Mm-hmm.
It says, on every interception, Darnold was staring down his primary receiver. I don't think he was. I think sometimes people get caught up, like, you have to look at your receiver, right? People expect Sam Darnold to hold the safety for 5 seconds to the right and then whip his head around and let it go. Like, when you are moving guys with your eyes as a quarterback, you got like 0.5 a second, 1/1000. And then you move in an inch or two, and now you have to go through your progression. So I would just encourage people. There are times where he stares them down. So be it. It's going to happen. But not on every interception. There are times where you have to look at your receiver.
Yeah.
You're seeing his release, his indicator at the top of his route. But I think Sam does a better job than a lot of holding safeties at the beginning of the play.
My argument is also always it's not obvious whether someone was a first or second read sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it is very obvious based on timing, based on where he's looking. Like, it's just you look at the play and you just know.
Yeah.
But I fear what's happening here is Sam Darnold had a horrible game, and we know that Sam Darnold has limitations that the best quarterbacks in the game don't.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just the reality of it. And frankly, the reality of where most teams in the NFL are, right? Most teams don't have a top 5 quarterback. There are more than 5 teams. But you have a lot of stuff that you can do with Sam, and that's really cool. And I think that we tend to want to, like, he threw interceptions, game manager, just doesn't go through progressions. Like, we want to put him in a box of, like, this is what I understand this quarterback to be. And he's actually a lot of different things. Perfect isn't one of them.
Right.
But nor is a game manager, check down Charlie, doesn't know how to go through things.
Yeah.
There's sometimes, but not every time. And it's just not quite sure how to place him yet.
Yeah, it's hard to play quarterback, man. It is the toughest position in all of sports for a reason. I want to respond to another text.
Yeah.
206 says, what about the read the announcer Olsen had on the tight end going downfield instead of straight across? Did you see that, or was it just blathering? Blathering, that's a fun word. Arroyo was on a bender. So what a bender is, right? Imagine your defensive lineman, and then you have your linebackers on that second level. Maybe it's a safety if he comes down, but I think it was linebacker on that second level. Once you get past that second level, you start to bend towards the middle of the field. Typically, what that's going to do is either going to pull the safety with you, get a guy open behind you, or if the safety gets too deep, you attack the middle of the field. So not necessarily go straight across the field, but bend. I think Arroyo could have done a better job bending once you got past or on the hip of that linebacker. So I think Olsen was right in that situation. The real problem was just seeing that safety squatting on that route.
Yeah, so maybe, can I ask a follow-up?
Yeah.
So the way I'm understanding you saying it is, like, even if you were to bend it in a little bit more, that safety is still inside of him.
Yeah,
because that safety at that point, he's waiting.
He was out of his back pedal.
Yeah.
You know, he was like, all right, I see his eyes. That's one where he was definitely staring the wide out. I see his eyes. So your bender has done exactly what it's supposed to do. Either you're bending around the linebacker and getting open, or you're bending and pulling the safety with you, creating space on the outside.
Shoot, I didn't have enough time to get to this cut about quarterbacks are not going to have it together every single week. But the good thing is you basically talked about a lot of the questions I was going to ask you. So covered our bases there. And if you guys want to hear the rest of that interview, it's on the Brock and Salk podcast, Daniel Jeremiah. We've got good news on rookie guard Gray Zabel. Does that mean we're going to see him on Sunday against the Titans? Plus, how do the Seahawks fix their turnover problem? Seahawks reporter Bob Condotta joins us next.
He came to Seattle at the trade deadline.
Pitch to Naylor, swung on, drilled, gap right center field.
Getting traded here was a blessing.
And instantly made himself a fan favorite.
The ride or die fans embraced me right away.
A bases clearing, 3-run double by Josh Naylor.
5 more years of Josh Naylor as a Mariner was about as simple a decision as we could make.
I want to continue to give this city the best thing I can.
Live it up, Mariners fans.
That World Series that we're shooting for here.
With the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
I know a lot of you guys are listening from your phones right now, so it's the perfect time to give a shout out to my friends over at AT&T. The other guys will make claims saying this and that about how great their network is, and I'm just here to set the record straight that AT&T is America's fastest and most reliable wireless network. I don't know about you guys, but it just gives me so much peace of mind when I'm going to do the things I love, and I know my wireless network's got me. Like if I'm going to a concert or a basketball game or even something outdoorsy, knowing I'm going to have fast service and can share what I'm up to is a game changer. You want to know you can post what you want to post, call who you want to call, and with AT&T, it literally doesn't matter where you're going. I promise you, they're already there. Don't just take it from me. Actual tests prove AT&T is America's fastest and most reliable wireless network. When you compare, there is no comparison. Based on RootMetrics' United States Root Score Report, 1H 2025 tested with best commercially available smartphones on 3 national mobile networks across all available network types. Your experiences may vary. RootMetrics rankings are not an endorsement of AT&T.
It's hard to believe the holidays are almost here. And do you or someone on your wish list want the gift of fitness? Well, Brock Hewitt here, and the Top Fitness Black Friday sales event is on right now. I've told you all for years, there is nothing better than a home gym, and to give it as a gift and to friends, even better. And right now, you could save up to $1,000 on Inspire gyms, Inspire treadmills, and True treadmills, plus get free delivery and assembly on Precor treadmills, ellipticals, and exercise bikes. You can also save, how about this, up to 50% on last year's display models. With Olympic weight bars starting at $50 and home gym attachments and accessories, well, they're up to 50% off starting at just $10. So it's no secret why everyone from personal trainers to pro athletes love Top Fitness. You can visit them in Tukwila, Linwood, or Bellevue, or simply go to topfitness.com. Take care of your family, take care of your friends, take care of yourself with the Top Fitness Black Friday sales event on right now. Top Fitness, your best place for home fitness equipment.
At Bible Law Group, we understand that when the need is great, our community has to do even greater things together. That's why we're teaming up with KRIZ and the Seattle Medium newspaper to sponsor a special holiday food drive this Saturday, November 22nd, supporting families right here in our community. Drop off at 2600 South Jackson Street, Seattle from 10 to 4 p.m. Bring canned goods and non-perishables you can share. Don't forget, when you're facing a lion's den of litigation, you are not alone. Call Bible Law Group today and let our team get to work for you.
This year, make comfort the first gift during the Black Friday sale at Home Comfort Alliance. Through December 1st, call to get savings up to 75% off furnaces, air conditioners, backup generators, EV chargers, water heaters, and more. If your system's over 12 years old, upgrade now before it breaks and save. And remember to schedule your consultation before December 1st and save up to 75% and take 18 months to pay off 0% financing OAC. Visit HomecomfortAlliance.com today.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions and bring you a special Black Friday offer.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal. And now, as a special Black Friday offer, you can get a free gutter inspection, plus up to 35% off. This is our best offer of the season. Unlock it now at leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
When you're at home and next to your windows, do you notice cold air or a draft when the wind blows? How about moisture or leaking during a rainstorm? Dave Wyman here, and after 20 years in our home, our window seals started breaking. A failed window can do major damage to your home, and the older the window, the more likely it is to fail. That's why right now is an excellent time to have Harley Exteriors come by for a no-charge consultation. That's exactly what I had done over the summer, and not only were they extremely knowledgeable about all things windows, I found them to be polite, professional, and respectful. In other words, people you want to do business with. Harley Exteriors has a special offer for Seattle sports fans. Buy 3 windows, get 1 free. No payments or interest until 2027. and take an additional $200 off your project. Call 833-HARLEY or go to harleyexteriors.com. Schedule your free consultation today. They'll give you an honest assessment and quote. Go to harleyexteriors.com.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Seahawks got good injury news yesterday on a knee issue for rookie guard Gray Zabel. After telling Brock and Salk that he was optimistic Monday morning, Mike McDonald told reporters Monday afternoon imaging showed, quote, nothing significant, and Zabel is day to day. Bob Condotta joining us in 30 seconds for more.
Snapshot brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. The Seattle Times' Bob Condotta joining us now on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. Bob, rarely would I start with something like an injury update, but this one's a pretty big one, and it was positive. Good news yesterday from Mike McDonald on rookie guard Gray Zabel. What's it mean for Sunday, though? How long could he be out?
Yeah, well, Mike McDonald did say day-to-day, but he also said could be a week, and, we'll see how it goes kind of thing. So, they play a game Sunday against what's, not that they're going to overlook it, but, that's the worst team in the NFL. They're going to be playing Sunday. And, if there's a chance maybe to hold him and get him completely healthy for kind of the stretch run, maybe they think about doing that. But the best news obviously is that it sounds like he could play Sunday if he would be needed, and maybe he will. And given how that looked in the moment, that's definitely good news.
How do they feel or how do you feel the offensive line played with Sundell being down and the little time that Zabel was down as well?
Yeah, well, I didn't really notice anything different a whole lot about Olowitumi being in there instead of Sundell, especially from an operational standpoint, which is what you're always really looking for from the center spot, and which has been the issue, against Arizona when Sundell did get out, did have to go out, and they did have some snap issues and some things like that. They cleaned those up, so all that went well. The Rams are a tough defense. That's a tough team to play, obviously, especially in that environment. So, the fact that they gained over 400 yards in the game, and they averaged, despite some struggles, they averaged almost 4 yards a carry on the ground. So, given some of the other games they've had rushing wise, especially given the opponent, I thought that wasn't that bad. So, I think in general the line played okay. Kristen Haynes. So the series Zabel missed was just the final series of the game. That last 10-play kind of frantic, chaotic drive to kind of get down there from the 1 yard line and set up for the Jason Myers field goal. So they had to scramble a couple times. It seemed like it went okay. That's probably a really weird situation to judge a guy too much on, and that was a lot to probably throw on. Kristen Haynes has played for, here you go, first time you played in a year basically, and here's the situation, go get him. But it seemed like all things considered, he did okay.
The Seahawks lead the league with 20 giveaways, which is not a good thing, but it's also a weird thing for a team that's been pretty good. Bob, whenever you're giving that many away, there are going to be multiple issues at play. Have you noticed any factors turn up over and over, any kind of patterns at all? I mean, why are they so bad with turnovers?
Well, I mean, the biggest issue is the obvious one. I mean, Sam Darnold, I think, is responsible for 14 of them. So, that's, otherwise, I don't think that's a totally abnormal total to have. It's a little on the high side, the other 6 that they have, but 14 of them are, 10 interceptions and 4 fumbles. So, that's kind of the thing that's hard to not look at. And, Sam had four passes against the Rams. I think it was probably an issue of, a couple times, trying to do too much. I think he was probably cognizant of the last game against the Rams when he had taken the 9 sacks in the playoff game when he was with the Vikings. And, he'd talked during the week about wanting to get the ball out quicker and things like that. And, it seemed like a couple times he was a victim of probably thinking too much about getting the ball out, and instead of trying to do something else with it, either take the sack or just throw it away. On 2 of them, he was getting hit, especially that last one. That definitely seemed like he was just trying to get rid of it no matter what kind of thing, and threw it in harm's way. And that one was maybe somewhat defensible in that regard too, because if he takes the sack there, he probably moves him out of field goal range. So I'm sure he's thinking there at the worst, this is incomplete. It's a 54-yard field goal or whatever. If I take the sack, it's going to be maybe out of it. So just a variety of factors like that. But I mean, it really just goes back first and foremost. That was one of the things that Russell Wilson was great at, right? All the years he played, he was really good at not throwing interceptions. They were always way down there on the list of turnovers. Your turnover ratio, usually the biggest factor to it is your quarterback play. And so, it's just been too many for Sam especially the last month.
Kenneth Walker, he is tied for 3rd in the NFL when it comes to explosive runs. Yet he's 18th when it comes to the amount of carries that he's gotten so far this year. Do you see the Hawks maybe leaning on him a bit more? Or do you think that they have a formula that they like and will continue to use as far as the K9 and Zach Charbonnet combo?
Well, it's funny. I mean, if you heard Mike McDonald yesterday in his Monday afternoon presser, he said exactly that about Walker. That I think he's deserved the opportunity, deserved to get more opportunities, or something to that effect. I don't have the exact quote right in front of me, but here it is, that he deserves some more opportunities. That was his exact quote. I think you might try to see him more. Now, as he clarified, that doesn't just mean you're suddenly going to give him all the carries, because you just can't do that. No team really does that. And they've got a tough stretch here now where they play a game every week. You know for sure that what's kind of looming is that stretch in mid-December when you're going to have to play the Colts and the Rams each in the span of 5 days. So you're going to have to manage these guys a little bit no matter what. But I think there's been a little bit of a clear role where Charbonnet has been more of their short, their red zone, short yardage guy. I was actually looking at this. Charbonnet, I think, has 11 of their 3rd and 4th down carries of 3 yards or shorter. Walker only has 1 of those. So maybe there's some situations like that where they just decide to get the ball to Walker a little bit more, or just, especially in the passing game. I think so many of the passes he gets are kind of just dump offs, which is pretty typical for running backs. But, maybe you try to involve him in the passing game a little bit more too, because he's shown, that's really where his explosiveness could show up, is if there's sometimes you can just get him the ball in open space like that. So, I don't know if it's necessarily like his numbers, the number of carries is necessarily going to hugely spike, but maybe they just try to find some ways to get him involved a little bit more at times and try to use that explosiveness, because, the other thing now is you've sort of, there was obviously the concern in the offseason of his health. We didn't see him much at all, on the field, because he was still basically dealing with the ankle injury that ended his 24 season. He didn't get a carry in the preseason. And I think there was a little bit of, we need to kind of get him through the season. Now here you are. There's 7 games left. You're in the stretch run, and that stuff starts to, there's a little bit more of, this is the time to really kind of figure out what's working and what's not. And we've really got to concentrate on that, on those things. So, for sure, I think they'll probably try to do some things to emphasize what Walker does well and try to use those a little bit more the rest of the way.
Bob, you've been to a lot of post-game press conferences, and to be honest, most of them sound roughly the same. You were at the one in L.A. and heard Ernest Jones defending his quarterback. When was the last time, can you remember a defense like the one you heard from him? Because it's rare that in those moments you get sincerity, certainly maybe not with some vulgarity, but I was struck by that press conference. What did you think?
Yeah, it was interesting. Ernest went up to the podium right after Sam did. I know they talked briefly sort of in the hallway, and I think Ernest had heard a little bit of what Sam had said and was kind of reacting to that somewhat. I think he kind of heard the line of questioning maybe that Sam had gotten, which, I think was all the obvious and fair questions. I don't think there was anything out of the ordinary about any of that. That's what people are there to ask, basically. But, so I think it might have somewhat been a reaction to that, and just knowing that, what everybody else was going to be asked. And I think Ernest feeling like he has become one of the spokesmen for the defense. I think he wanted to make that clear that they're a team and everybody does have each other's back. And yeah, for sure. I mean, his use of language was I don't know how much the Seahawks PR people necessarily, knowing that's going out live everywhere, would have been their first choice, but it did get the point across for sure that and Mike McDonald was asked about it yesterday, and said he speaks for all of us, and so I think they wanted to just get that out there so that there isn't this whole week of speculation about it or anything like that. That they're firmly behind Sam.
How big is this game? And it's funny I'm asking you that because obviously people expect the Seahawks to beat the Tennessee Titans, but for me, Bob, going into this game, I think it's just a mental game for Sam Darnold, right? Just prove to yourself that you can get back to making the correct throws, the right reads, getting the football off on time. What do you want to see from Sam Darnold?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the Seahawks are about 13-point favorites, and I'm going to need to look this up. I'm not sure the last time they've been that big of a favorite on the road. You just don't see that often in the NFL, where home teams are almost 2-touchdown underdogs. The Tennessee hasn't been moving the ball on anybody, and now here, the Seahawks are going to be one of the best defenses they faced all year, and so, you would think the Seahawks can kind of just win this game on that side of the ball alone. But you're right. I think the schedule gets a little tougher, obviously, from there. And again, especially that last 4-game stretch in particular now with Carolina, suddenly playing pretty well. That game looks a lot trickier than it did. So throwing that in the middle of that. But yeah, you need to get Sam back on track for sure. Having a good, clean game, kind of good, clean, efficient game from the offense. Making it a game where you go back to what they've been really good at this year, but kind of taking the lead early and then, and then kind of holding on to it or running away with it, in a situation where you are going to be expected to win by a lot. I think that'll be important as well. Just kind of get back on the winning track. And then there's just the tangible part of it too, is you could easily be back in a tie for first, if you win this game and the Rams have to play Tampa Bay. That's a game they could easily lose, and the 49ers have Carolina, which, again, is becoming a tough out for teams. So, anything is possible, and they could definitely get right back in there. So, that's kind of, this is that time of year, and it's fun that the Seahawks are in it, where every game sort of has that kind of meaning. But you're right, there's sort of an intangible. It does feel like there's a little bit more of an intangible meaning to this one too, of kind of just going out and taking care of business the way people are going to expect you to, especially on offense.
Speaking of intangible feelings, I wanted to continue that theme when talking about the team as a whole, the season as a whole. You've obviously covered a Super Bowl winning Seahawks team, so you know exactly what a very electric and very dominant team feels like. And while Pete Carroll is the winningest head coach with Seattle, the last couple years certainly fell stagnant. It's going to happen to any NFL head coach. How does this team feel to you, covering it day in and day out, different from maybe the version we've seen the last 3, 4, 5 years?
Well, I think this is definitely, despite Sunday, I think there's still a feeling that this team has a lot ahead of it and has earned the right to have big expectations, and that those still could be there. Mm-hmm. And I think in some ways, despite everything that happened, I think some of the guys will come out of that game feeling that way even more, because they did overcome a lot to still be in a position to win that game. And if they'd have had 5 or 10 more seconds on the clock, the ability to get get about 5 more yards closer for Jason Myers, that they somehow win that game. And if they'd have won that game, despite that, then you would have really felt like, man, this team, anything is possible for this team. I had a whole story basically saying that, actually, when I thought they might win it.
It's the worst when you have to delete it all.
Yeah, that winning this game sort of shows that anything's possible. The 13 team, it's easy to forget, in general, they did have, they can kind of look back and feel like that was inevitable that they won that. But, they went through a little bit of a tough midseason stretch, if you recall, especially that they had those back-to-back games against the Rams and Tampa Bay, neither of which were very good at that time, where each game came down to the final play, and they had to win those. And, if they'd have lost just one of them, they wouldn't have had the home field advantage and for the playoffs and all that. But, a lot of guys pointed back to that stretch later as proof that it wasn't made as easy as everybody thought after it was all over. And, so you go through things like this, and it is how you handle it. And I think the fact that they didn't crumble in the face of that. Especially when it was 21-12 and then Darnold throws the next interception. At that point, I think everybody in the building thought, well, the Rams will just go down and score here and kind of win this one going away, and it'll feel like they were the dominant team throughout. And that didn't happen. The defense stopped them a couple times, and then got the ball back, and the Seahawks were able to go down and score on the Walker run and get the ball back and even have a chance to win it. And so, I think there's a general feeling of that the way they hung in the game and still gave themselves a chance to win it at the end spoke pretty loudly about what this team can be.
A question for you, or maybe also for Bump, is that I'm just going on memory. I might be thinking of 2014 or 12. Is that 2013 game struggling against the Rams the one that came down to a goal line stand, and it was 1, 2, 3 yards, and it was down to like a 4th and 1 or 4th and 2, right? And it was a stop. What am I thinking?
Yeah, no, they had 2. Yeah, no, the Rams got the ball back with about 3 minutes to go and drove all the way down the field, and they had, if I recall right, they had a third. The ball was at the 1. And I think there was a third down play where Heath Farwell, they put in their goal line defense, and Heath Farwell made a stop, and then on 4th down, the Rams threw a pass, and Brandon Browner batted it down. So yeah, the offense gained like 130 yards, 80 of which came on a pass to Golden Tate, where he later got fined for showing the ball, and I'm blanking on the cornerback, but in the face of the quarterback all the way down the field. Yeah,
I had a recovered memory.
Yeah. And then the next week they played Tampa Bay, and what's still the biggest comeback in team history. They fell behind 21-0, and then came back to win the game in overtime. So,
hey, but how do you think? From the outside looking in, you're a bit more inside than us. How do you think McDonald has handled the injuries this year, the turnovers by Sam Darnold, the missed tackles that was an issue to start the season, just his second time around, more than halfway through the season? How have you seen him grow?
I think, in fairness, their injury situation I don't think is abnormal. I think, the 49ers, that's a team that's really had injuries. The Seahawks are probably about, I'll have to look it up, but they're probably about middle of the pack or so in total games lost. They've when you kind of only follow one team, I think when you have any starters out, it can seem like you really hit hard. But, I don't know that they've had a whole lot more than some other teams, and especially not more than the 49ers. So I think it's kind of a par for the course season there in terms of dealing with that. But they have had to do some shuffling for sure in the secondary. And that's been impressive. That they've gotten really good play out of everybody back there that they've had to stick in there. Ty Okada, the way he's played. Nehemiah Pritchett when he had to play against Arizona quite a bit. Just some of the they've had to they used Shaquille Griffin for a game as a full-time starter and got a win on the road. Against what was a hot team at the time, doing that. So, I think he's proven a lot with what he can do defensively when he has to use. And then obviously having Tyrese Knight play for a game at middle linebacker last week. So I think McDonald's proven everything you need to know about how he can sort of adjust to different personnel on defense. And in terms of how he handles it from a coaching standpoint, I just go back to the last 11 minutes Sunday. I don't know how it came through on TV, but definitely sort of being in that stadium, which isn't the loudest place in the world, but certainly kind of got loud when, the Rams scored and then immediately get another interception, and, that's 4, and the fans are definitely sort of enjoying that. The way that was going, and then for the Seahawks to again get a stop, get the ball back, go down for a touchdown, get another stop, and almost pull the game out. I think speaks a lot to how McDonald and his staff can handle adversity. And McDonald, as everybody's gotten to know, he's not necessarily going to be the kind of fist pumping, gum chewing presence that Pete Carroll was on the sidelines that maybe really drew you to him and kind of could seem enthusiastic. He definitely has sort of a calmer demeanor to him, but I think that's really helpful again in situations like this too. And he's very pragmatic about that there's going to be ups and downs. Even he talked about that last week about we're winning games now. We know there's going to be times when we aren't losing games, and you're going to have to just ride that out. And how do you handle that? And so, he knows they're not going to win every game, and this is going to be a clean, smooth ride to winning a Super Bowl title or anything like that. It's the NFL, and things happen. And so, I think he's shown that he's got that kind of manner and demeanor with him to hold the team together through those things.
He is Seattle Times Bob Condotta. Check out his work, seattletimes.com. Thanks, Bob.
Thanks, Bob.
Okay, thanks a lot, you guys. Yep, talk to you later. Bye.
Let's get to headline rewrites.
Extra, extra, read all about it.
Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news with Bump and Stacy.
Headline number one, it was another brutal performance from the Raiders as they were blown out by the Cowboys, 33-16 on Monday Night Football. What's the real headline?
I fear Pete Carroll's magic might have run out.
You know who's not getting enough attention when it comes to this Raiders situation? Tom Brady. He's got the influence. He's a Super Bowl champion.
Yes.
Brought him over here to kind of change what's going on.
Wasn't he ardently against signing Sam Darnold?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Like, yes, Pete, you're the head coach. Got to fix it. Geno, not playing great football. You don't have weapons over there. But I want to see what Tom Brady does this offseason. How does his influence help change what's going on in Vegas?
Yeah, Vegas is just, I mean, you called it before the season started, saying, like, they're a bad roster. Pete Carroll's a Hall of Fame coach. He's going to be in the Hall of Fame, but he can't go there and, spin water into wine. What is it? Straw into gold. That's a much better metaphor of what I was trying to say. But there's only so much culture you can build in the face of a lot of losing. I don't know. That's tough. That was a lot to ask.
Yeah, sure is.
Headline rewrites.
Headline number two, Gray Zabel was able to avoid a serious knee injury and is considered day-to-day. What's the real headline?
Nothing significant is a great thing to hear about a player's injury, and a horrible thing to hear about your own life.
Yes, it is. Very horrible to hear about your life. But I love that Gray Zabel walked away with this one, and it doesn't seem like anything crazy. Because when he was on the ground, I'm thinking about this offensive line, how far they've come, 18th pick. Like they were making so much progress, and this would have set them back. But also would have given guys like Christian Haynes an opportunity to go out there and try to prove himself as well. But you need Gray out there. You see what he brings to the table. I don't know how his peers think of him, but I know that here in Seattle, when I'm watching film with Big Ray and all the guys, we love everything that he's doing at this point. He's a natural leader, too. You saw that interaction with him and Calais Campbell. Like, this is a rookie talking to a guy who's been in the league since he was like 3 or 4 years old. And there was no back down to him. And I love that about Gray Zabel. I got a chance to interview him for Hawks Live. Just a good, intense person.
We got the whole Rogers family in the control room. I see the Rogers girls back there.
Yeah, Blair tried to make a cameo there.
Oh, she can still
do reaching for a teddy bear. She doesn't know how to read.
Hi, Blair.
She doesn't know how to read. See?
Yeah. Huh?
Blair doesn't know how to read. She's 2.
I started at just such a young age, I guess.
You hooked on phonics?
Oh, I forgot about. No, I never had to do that. No, I did it. Oh, man.
Headline
I'll never forget Willa's Dumpin' Stinky. People called us that for like months after.
Yes.
Willa, you say Dumpin' Stinky?
Dumpin' Stinky.
Good job.
Nice.
Thanks, Willa.
Headline 3, Jamar Chase has been suspended for next week's game by the NFL for spitting on Jalen Ramsey. We don't spit at our house. What's the real headline?
I never spit on that man, says man who spit on man.
Yeah, that was disgusting. And Jamar Chase, you're too good of a ball player to do that, man. That's what guys with less talent do. You know, because you know or they know you have an edge on them. They're trying to get into your head. That's just classless, Jamar. And you owe Jalen an apology. If I was Jalen, you ain't got no choice but to swing. Like, that is it. If you are a grown man and another grown man spits in your face and you do absolutely nothing, shame on you.
Spitting is just gross in general.
Nasty.
I can't believe this is the second time this season that we're talking about, like, so unfortunately you cannot spit on another player. It's not even the end of the season.
Go to the handbook, you guys remember? Chapter 3?
Yeah, we went to week 1 to the last week. Now, question, is the league, by suspending him a game, docking a paycheck, being in any way unfair in their punishment or uneven in their punishment, considering that they counted the game in which Jalen Carter didn't play because he spit during, like, the pregame handshakes? Are they being unfair in counting that as his game?
It's the same thing. I mean, Jalen didn't play in that game.
Yeah.
So you got suspended for the game.
Does the timer start once you take a snap?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
So if it's
and he was deep into the game, too. He wasn't even near the beginning of the game.
I guess what I'm saying is it's like if you play even one snap and then cornerback shoves you, you get into it with him, you spit on him.
Yeah.
Or spitting, not good. But, like, if you spit on him, like, okay, well, that doesn't count as that game suspended.
As soon as the clock starts,
okay,
it counts.
That's fair. We asked Bob Condotta whether he'd heard anything like what Ernest Jones said about Sam Darnold in that post-game press conference. It was certainly notable. Well, a former NFL head coach and current NFL analyst took note, and he loves it. That's next.
He came to Seattle at the trade deadline.
Pitch to Naylor, swung on, drilled, gap right center field.
Getting traded here was a blessing.
And instantly made himself a fan favorite.
The ride or die fans embraced me right away.
A bases clearing, 3-run double by Josh Naylor.
5 more years of Josh Naylor as a Mariner was about as simple a decision as we could make.
I want to continue to give this city the best thing I can.
Live it up, Mariners fans.
That World Series that we're shooting for here.
With the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation, so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Guys, tired all the time, gaining weight, low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. Right now, Revive Men's Health Washington is making it easier to get answers with a comprehensive wellness panel. It's not just a lab test, it's where better performance begins. Our providers will check your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. A $400 value for just $99, or free if you start treatment. Over 120,000 men have trusted Revive to restore their energy, mood, and confidence. So if you're ready to feel better and live stronger, call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Offer ends November 30th. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
Too many breakup songs getting you down? Put a little bossa nova in the playlist. Sometimes a different way is the better way. Like the SR 509 Expressway near SeaTac. Get a good-to-go pass to save $2 every time you use it, and on other toll roads in Washington.
Want more Seahawks content? Join me, G. Scott, on The Reset. New episodes of the podcast every Monday and Thursday on YouTube or on the Seattle Sports app.
Matt Coker here with West Coast Men's Health. In the past 5 years, we've seen thousands of men at our clinics. Most guys tell us the same story, that in their early 50s, it's not that they couldn't function, they just needed help. They started taking Viagra, and it worked great at first. But after a few years, it stopped working. The problem is that their arteries had become more restricted since they started taking it, because Viagra does not unclog arteries. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we use acoustic wave therapy to target the real problem. we break down plaque and clear up the arteries so blood can flow like it did in your 20s. This restores function. And guys, listen to this. You won't have to take a pill anymore. So if this sounds like you, give West Coast Men's Health a call today and see how we can help.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
I saw her texting, coming up to a stop sign, and so I saw the accident coming, and she T-boned us.
In the blink of an eye, Crystal's life changed when she suffered a severe spinal injury.
The pain was something I had never experienced before in my neck. I got massage therapy. I saw a chiropractor. I was prescribed muscle relaxers so I could sleep. I got depressed. Nothing was relieving the pain.
Drugs, sleepless nights, and depression. Sound familiar? I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist. At Sound Pain Solutions, our treatments include high-dose laser combined with spinal decompression and other comprehensive therapies to rehabilitate damaged discs. We use treatments that are non-surgical, FDA-cleared, drug and pain-free.
I was able to get off my pain medicines, and I was able to sleep through the night, and that was what I was desperate for.
To learn if you're a candidate for our treatment, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025 or click soundpainsolutions.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is
Weekdays 10 to 2
on Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Thank you, Willa Rogers. Once again, dumping stinky. You know what? I'm going to save the next comment I have for off-air because I forgot that this is an off-air joke. I'm going to keep it moving. Count Rex Ryan is a big fan of Ernest Jones and his comments backing up Sam Darnold.
That's how you do it. Absolutely love that right there, D. Wood. Love it. Now, that's a hell of a locker room right there. That's when, if you're seeing Sam Darnold, you're like, man, like, I'm coming back in. Let's go. Like, I can't wait to get back on that dang field. Like, that to me, and because you know darn well, there's part of them had to be like, God, we were horrendous on offense, and Sam stunk. But you know what? That's not it. Public, no, hell no. Let's go. But Sam Darnold, this is the best thing that could ever happen to him. And it also shows me he's in the right place.
I'm not always saying this about Rex Ryan, but I completely agree with him.
Yeah, that was big. I think that would have happened anyway. But for Ernest to do it publicly, you know, I think even if they were just in the locker room talking or whatnot, they would have been just fine, right? But him coming out to the public and just saying, cut all that noise right now, we got your back, says a lot, man. And I would expect nothing less from Ernest Jones, honestly. He's just that type of leader. So, yeah, good to support your quarterback.
It also sounded very sincere. Like, it's one thing when I've been to so many post-game press conferences, and I have heard a million variations of, well, it's not on one guy, it's on all of us. We win as a team, we lose as a team. Like, it's just, it's almost like you don't hear it because it's so common. To hear not just a swear word used very bluntly, but also and quite frankly,
yeah,
like he meant that. I was debating.
There's a father right there.
Exactly. I was debating with some friends, going like, "You think he was sincere?" And they were like, "Yes."
Yeah, I think he was. Yeah, I think he made it a point too. He had to make sure that Sam knew, everyone else knew that the reason why. I mean, part of the reason why the Hawks are 7-3 is because of Sam. Now the defense has chipped in. Obviously, special teams has done his thing as well. But Sam is a big part of that. So one game hopefully will not define him.
Pete Carroll was obviously not in a chipper mood after another blowout loss for the Raiders.
This was a rough night, man. We didn't get stuff done the way we wanted to on either side of the ball. Man, we were excited about the chance and wanted to go after these guys and go get them. You saw we were really aggressive throwing the ball in the first half. Got us out of balance run pass-wise, I know that. But we had so many good opportunities, and Sheena was able to find his guys on the actions and all that it got us in the red area, and then we didn't function well. We got sacked a little bit, we got hit a little bit, and didn't work out. I was really disappointed that we didn't stop them more. There was a space in that game. There were 3 or 4 drives in a row, and we couldn't get off the field. And it wasn't all third down stuff. They did a nice job. They have a really good offense, and they do a nice job with it. Very difficult night for us. Sorry about it. Feel bad.
I'll say this about the Raiders. First of all, you could never make me hate Pete Carroll. But secondly, it doesn't look very much like a Pete Carroll team at all.
It doesn't. Well, we got to remember, too, when Pete Carroll first got here, it wasn't all, butterflies and roses and stuff. It took some time. Wasn't as bad as this.
Right.
But it wasn't like they just hit the ground running. So that's why I hope he gets another opportunity at this, because you can tell they don't have the roster. Maybe they don't have the coordinators. The fact that Chip Kelly only ran the ball like 12 times or something like that is concerning to me. Chip Kelly likes to run the football. So there's some things going on over there. They have to correct it. I just hope Pete gets another year. But, man, if they win just 2 or 3 games, it's going to be tough to bring them back.
Have you watched enough to know whether it's an Ashton Genty rookie figuring it out problem? And you've talked before about, like, if there ever are positions where you can ideally hit the ground running, no pun intended, it's running back.
Yeah.
Is it an Ashton Genty problem? Is it an offensive line problem? Is it a scheme problem, not getting enough carries? Because 12 carries is not a lot. I know they're falling behind.
He only has
but
6.
Like, you got 6 carries. I know they're falling behind, but you've still got to.
I don't see, when I watch Genty, I don't see number 6 overall pick type of stuff. I also see an offensive line that has Stone Forsythe as a starter combo.
Well, the Raiders offense, speaking of, is all out of sorts. Geno Smith was asked post-game if he's allowed to audible out of plays.
Yeah, I mean, you can check into any play at any time, but would that be the right thing to do? Would you just go off script and just start calling your own plays? I don't think that's the right way to go about it. I think the right thing to do is to do what we practice and what we're coached to do. Like I said, the plays are there. I don't think there was any issue with the play calling. The plays are there. Guys were open. You guys watch the film. I know we got a lot of Monday morning quarterbacks who like to watch film and take screenshots and see where guys are open. So I'm sure you guys will see where the guys were open. For me, again, I just got to play better. And I keep saying this, man. If something don't look right out there, blame it on me, right? If it don't look right, blame it on me. That's all you can do. Blame it on me. If your kids mess up at school, blame it on me. If car break down going to work, blame it on me.
He still stays delivering quotes.
Blame it on me. Something don't look right. Blame it on me.
Blame it on me.
Yeah. He's used to this position.
He's also frustrated with their position.
Definitely frustrated. It's not all Geno. Geno's not playing great, but it's not all Geno. Yeah. That team just isn't very good. You need more personnel over there ASAP.
It would be really hard as a player to. It's why I very much try to stay in my lane. Like, I don't try to talk about what a player should do in a moment because this is the read that whatever. Like, I try to limit that, just not having any experience doing that. I still have lots of opinions, but different kinds of opinions. It would be so frustrating, and you can hear it in his voice, knowing that, like, oh, you think I missed that read? I already knew that. I didn't have to go back and watch hours of tape to figure that out. I know exactly what I did wrong. What do you want me to do about it? Like, that's how I'd feel. And I like, there's always that sense when you have to. It's just this dance that you do in media, but you might have to ask, well, what happened on that? Sometimes the answer is the game. I don't know. Got outplayed, made a bad decision, made a mistake. Like, there's nothing else to offer, and that's so deeply frustrating.
Yeah. Sometimes you just make errors.
Yeah.
And people want to know why. And a lot of it is because you're making decisions so quickly out there. Your defenses are disguising things. You're giving your receiver a chance. He's not getting open. You're feeling pressure. You got to let go of the football. There's so much that goes on in there. But when you're playing as bad as the Raiders are, those questions are going to be frequent after the game.
Did you get kind of annoying questions ever in college from reporters? It's a slightly different environment because did they still do that thing of like, we're going to pull the players and bring them out?
Yeah, and we were amateurs back then.
Yeah,
and I'm a receiver. Like, I don't make many decisions out there. I just run my route.
Well, if you were a college player now, very different story.
Yeah, different story.
Aaron Rodgers got further testing done on his left wrist fracture and will not need surgery on it. That was the news this morning. In fact, Rodgers is reportedly pushing to play Sunday against the Bears. Here's the thing. He's in his 40s with a fractured wrist, but he's also 24-5 in his career against Chicago. He owns the Bears.
He does, and he'll let them know. Are they at home or are they away?
I don't know. Curtis, do you know offhand? I'll look it up. You have it?
Bears are at home.
Okay.
All right, so he'll definitely talk to the crowd if he has himself a game like that. Here's the thing. This is a different type of Bears. This Bears has confidence. They have an offense that the quarterback seems to be picking up, and they're playing some decent football. So we'll see how this one pans out.
Next story, CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens were both benched for Monday night's opening series. We all saw that. It was a coach's decision. Pickens was asked about the benching by ESPN's Laura Rutledge.
George, we were told that you didn't start this game due to a coach's decision. What were you told about why?
I don't think, I feel like certain personnel
are built, for the running game. We kind of knew that we could exploit them running-wise, so a lot of heavy personnel.
Okay, that's interesting. Meanwhile, there's a story that they were benched for. Meanwhile, there's a story that they were benched for an attendance problem, maybe not showing up to a meeting on time. I don't know. That's only I don't actually know.
I heard. A story I heard was that they were just out gambling late.
Woo! Now I feel like we're doing. What did you hear? What did you guys hear? That felt like being benched for not. That didn't feel like we're going with heavy personnel.
No.
That felt like we are benching.
You saw Shotty go over there and then hug him up after a touchdown or two. There was definitely something else. That had nothing to do with just heavy personnel. But no, you're supposed to. That's family business. Keep it in-house.
Exactly. It's not like the wrong thing to say. It's just you can't really say anything else there. Last one here. Details on a burglary at Shedeur Sanders' home. 3 masked intruders stole $200,000 worth of property during the Browns-Ravens game. It was like 6 p.m. local time. They've not yet been caught. It's an open investigation. So that's a big deal. Meanwhile, Sanders in line to start his first game Sunday against the Raiders. So a lot going on for Shedeur Sanders this week. Your home was burglarized, and also you might get your first start.
One of the downfalls of being an athlete is that people know your schedule. They know when you practice. They know when you're traveling, when you play. So they're more likely to get hit. There's been a lot of that going on around the NFL this year.
Coming up next, what would Jackson Smith-Njigba have to do to win Offensive Player of the Year?
He came to Seattle at the trade deadline.
Pitch to Naylor, swung on, drilled, gap right center field.
Getting traded here was a blessing.
And instantly made himself a fan favorite.
The ride or die fans embraced me right away.
A bases clearing, 3-run double by Josh Naylor.
5 more years of Josh Naylor as a Mariner was about as simple a decision as we could make.
I want to continue to give this city the best thing I can.
Live it up, Mariners fans.
That World Series that we're shooting for here.
With the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
At Washington Energy Services, we take the time to get to know you and your home. We have the passion and commitment to see each project through and to treat our work as more than just a job. For over 65 years, we've offered award-winning home services, from heating and cooling, plumbing and electrical, to windows and doors. Complete home improvement handled from start to comfort. For peace of mind when you need it most, count on Washington Energy Services, bringing good energy to your home.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Help elevate your company's pride with workplace tips from Cintas. The right workwear helps your team look and perform their best. Cintas has work apparel for almost any job imaginable. Your team gets garments that are breathable, comfortable, and hold up to any job. Cintas even handles laundry and delivery every week with no upfront investment. It's all part of Apparel Plus from Cintas. Learn more at Cintas.com.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Hey, it's Bob Stelton here, and I can see clearly now. It's amazing. Let me tell you about one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. That's when I went to K2 Vision for refractive lens exchange, or RLE. Dr. Kopstein started K2 Vision with Dr. King from King LASIK, the most experienced LASIK surgeon in the Northwest. King LASIK plus K2 Vision equals freedom vision for every stage of life. No glasses, contacts, readers, or cataracts. So if you're somebody that struggles with distance vision and now you always need a pair of reading glasses, K2 Vision RLE could be your perfect perfect permanent solution to spending your good active years not needing reading glasses. And here's the capper. You're never going to develop a cataract. I'm somebody that needed readers in every room of the house. I needed to see the scoreboard out at ball games. I just couldn't see clearly. That has all changed thanks to RLE. Whether it's LASIK, EVO ICL, or RLE, trust the most experienced team of doctors to point you in the right direction. Schedule your free Zoom consultation today at K2VisionRLE.com. That's K2VisionRLE.com.
Bonneville International radio station contests are open to participants 18 years of age or older that are residents of Washington State unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contests are not eligible to win unless the station otherwise specifies at its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 60 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. Full general contest rules are available on seattlesports.com or in person at the station during regular business hours.
This is the home of the Seahawks.
Going to let one fly deep. Got a man out there. Ball is caught down at the 10-yard line, and it's JSN.
Seattle Sports.
When it comes to the security of your business, doubts can creep in about who you're trusting to protect it. Are they a reliable service? How will I know if something happens? Are they keeping everyone safe? At Bay Alarm, we got you. For nearly 80 years, we've been putting our customers' minds at ease with our advanced technology and personalized support. Feeling insecure about your current security service? Visit bayalarm.com today to talk to a local security expert.
Hey, it's Tim Hunter, former Seattle radio goofball here with two words that aren't funny. Prostate cancer. Get your annual checkup. Keep an eye on that PSA number. And if you hear those two words like I did, talk to the folks at Swedish Cyberknife. 5 treatments, minimally invasive and technologically advanced over the other options. If you were a friend and I consider you one, I'd highly recommend Swedish Cyberknife. We are so lucky to have them right here in town. Do your research, but definitely visit swedish.org/cyberknife prostate.
Dave Wyman here, and we've been fortunate to hear from 2 Swedish Cyberknife patients this year, Andy Ryder and Tim Hunter. Both heard about Cyberknife from our radio ads and completed successful treatment, raving about their experiences. Tim was impressed that treatment only took 5 days. Andy hosted a large international delegation the week after his treatment. If you, a friend, or a family member is diagnosed with prostate cancer, consider treatment with Swedish Cyberknife here in Seattle. Go to swedish.org/cyberknife prostate.
Hey, Mike Salk here for my friends at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel, and obviously New Year's is coming up. Can you believe it? Book your stay at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel for an evening of elegance at a night at the Grand Ball. This New Year's Eve celebration includes the legendary DJ Super Sam. And sports fans, you got to check out the Hawks Peak. You're home for game days with great food and drinks, more than 60 TVs, so you won't miss a play, and a heated, covered outdoor deck with those great views of the Snoqualmie Valley. Seattle's closest is now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Let's check in on the latest Offensive Player of the Year odds, shall we? It's Colts running back Jonathan Taylor as the favorite still. Now, Bump, those odds have shortened. JSN is picking up steam here. Yet another 100-plus yard receiving game, obviously on pace to set a new record. But he's not the favorite, and it doesn't look like Jonathan Taylor is going to give it away. What does JSN need to do to actually surpass Jonathan Taylor? He's lifting his team, Jonathan Taylor, to the number 1 seed in the AFC.
He's got to go for like 1,900 plus. You go for 1,900 plus. One, you're going to break the Seahawks franchise record, 1,303. That'll be done in a couple weeks. But you got to put up numbers similar to what Cooper Kupp put up. I mean, that's what I think it's going to take because Jonathan Taylor has like controllable yards. What I mean by that is it's easier to manufacture your yards as a running back. This is a run play. You are getting this football. We can determine how many carries you're going to get, how many opportunities you're going to get to gain some yards. And then you combine that with his team winning as well. It looks like the Colts have an opportunity to be a number 1 seed in the AFC, right? Number 1 or number 2. They're going to factor that in. They always factor in other stuff. Like even with MVP, yes, it's a individual award, but it's a team award as well. If your team is 3 or 4 losses and your team's playing well, you're playing well, you're going to get a harder look at that. So what does he have to do? He's got to do something similar to what Cooper Kupp did. Be in the Triple Crown race, put up about 1,900 yards, and and then wait and see what Jonathan Taylor does. But I think Rob Staton said it the best, is a quarterback is probably going to get the MVP, and then Jonathan Taylor is probably going to get the Offensive Player of the Year. If Jonathan Taylor gets the MVP, then maybe Jason can get the Player of the Year.
Oh, I think they'll give. If Jonathan Taylor, I don't see a world where a non-quarterback gets MVP and Offensive Player of the Year. I feel like Offensive Player of the Year is like, this guy should be MVP, but we have to give it to a quarterback, so here's Saquon. That's kind of what Offensive Player of the Year has become, the non-quarterback MVP. I think what's interesting about their seasons, both have roughly the same number of yards. Jonathan Taylor, 1,139 yards. Jackson Smith-Njigba, 1,146 yards. I know receiving and rushing yards are not equal, but I think that, and they also both have a pretty notable gap over the next closest player. Like, they are far and away the best receiver right now.
He got 15 touchdowns, though.
That's true.
Yeah.
But in terms of yardage, best running back, best wide receiver, gap, and then the second and third, fourth guys.
Yeah.
But do you think that, a real question, and I'm not saying that like voters all feel this way, I wonder if people see a running back, even though you can manufacture those yards in a different way, as being more, quote, responsible for a team's success because he can succeed independent of a quarterback in the mind of some people.
Yeah.
Versus a wide receiver is like, yeah, Jackson's great, but of course you got Sam throwing him the ball.
Yeah, no, that's an argument for sure. It's something we talked about, a few years back when these receivers started getting all these contracts, right? We were talking about, all right, well, does a receiver put you over the top? All right, so last year, the top 5 receivers in the game, end of the year, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Brian Thomas, Drake London, Amon-Ra St. Brown, no Super Bowls. Let's go one more year. Year before that, Reek Hill, CeeDee Lamb, Amon-Ra, Puka Nacua, A.J. Brown, no Super Bowls. Can you do that with a running game, though? All right, let's go back. Let's go to 25. Oh, no, I'm sorry, we're in 25. Let's go 24. Come on.
Well, Saquon.
Glitching. Saquon,
Yeah,
Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
Right? After him, Derrick Henry, conference championship.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that
That's a good point.
it does. Year before that, Christian McCaffrey, Super Bowl or conference championship, one of the two. Then Derrick Henry, then Kyron Williams. I think that running backs have more control of the game. They can create the personality of the game.
Yeah.
They can set the tempo of the game. And when you're running the ball successfully, you can drain the clock and win that thing. When you're up and you want to drain the clock, you run the football. And it's messed up because running backs probably have a bigger effect on the game overall, but they get paid the least because they're going to touch the ball 500 times in a year and risk injury. So, no, me being a receiver, I have to side with the running backs. If you have a strong running back, a strong run game, you're elevating your chances to win, but you still need a threat on the outside.
What if JSN sets a new franchise record? Sets a new NFL record.
Oh, he's getting it.
So, over 2,000 yards. We've never seen it. Getting it?
Yeah.
I feel like it has to be. You know, what's interesting is you made a really good point about if we look at Super Bowl appearances or conference title games, there is a strong correlation between having an elite running back and getting there and winning. And that correlation doesn't exist as much with wide receivers, which is interesting and makes a good case for running backs. We've also said a million times, oh, surely when this running back gets over 2,000, he'll win MVP. And then it has not happened. We've seen Chris Johnson do it. We've seen Derrick Henry do it. Saquon has done it. Like, you've seen multiple times a number we thought would surely get MVP for that player and didn't. So what's the number for JSN?
He's got to break the record. He's got to break.
I think it's got to have a 2 in front of it.
Yeah, that's the record, right? Calvin has over 2,000 yards.
I thought he has 19.
Is it? Yeah.
1964.
I don't think he has to. I don't think he has to have a 2. He just has to break the record and be Triple Crown. You have to do so much more as a receiver to get any of that type of consideration, most definitely. But can he do it? I mean, he's on pace. He's on pace to do it. The only thing that he might not get is the receiving touchdowns.
Yeah.
You know, because there are other guys out there with some big numbers and they throw the football more. And who's leading right now? Right now you got Devontae Adams with 10 red zone target for days, and he's already 5 behind him when it comes to that.
Hypothetical. So Calvin Johnson has the record with 1964.
Mm-hmm.
If JSN gets 1970, beats it by 6 yards, is that enough, or does it have to be like a statement?
Nah. Man, what was that? Fast and the Furious?
I mean, no one's touched it since 2012.
Doesn't matter if you went by an inch or a mile. Win is a win. You broke a record. You still done something no one's done before. But you know what they're going to say? 17 games, though. 17 games.
Oh, God. Here's the thing. Yes, 17 games, but it's not the first year it's been 17 games and no one's done it yet.
Mm-hmm.
So what? And what if he does it ahead of 17 games? What if he does it in 16 games?
Man, that argument goes out the window.
Sometimes I hate that argument because it's like, it's not like that didn't happen. I can understand that you look at Calvin Johnson, 1,964 yards without 17 games. Cool. All right, well, it's still absolutely unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
And it's still a crazy record that hasn't been broken.
Yeah.
I think you've got to add more than just a single game to make it suddenly where, like, imagine they were playing 24 games a year and the season's extended, by a couple months. All of a sudden it's like, oh, yeah, these records are getting smashed. But that's never going to happen.
Listen, OJ had the record and he did it in 14 games. And then Dickerson goes and passes him. Ain't nobody, we don't even acknowledge that.
I think it's just I don't want to say it's a dumb thing. I think that as people, we just have these arguments we constantly go to. Look at we were talking about the MVP conversation. People just going, well, Cal's average. And it's like, you don't even think about it. It's like a ping pong match. You just go, well, 17 games. Like, that's just an argument people naturally say because they think it's like a, might I bring this up? Food for thought on this point. No, I think it says with 2000. All right, coming up next, the newly re-signed Josh Naylor spoke to reporters earlier today. You'll hear his complete interview next.
Down on the field is Gray Zabel.
A big sigh of relief for the Seahawks.
Really fortunate. I guess we avoided a significant injury, which is really positive.
While Zabel recovers.
Could be day to day, could be a week, could be more than that.
Who steps up?
God bless Christian Haynes, man. He came in there. He's a tough sucker with heavy hands.
This is the home of the Seahawks. Seattle Sports on 710, the Seattle Sports app, and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
Makita knows that pros never settle, and neither do we. With Makita, you get tools that perform at the highest level on every job without compromise. Makita is for the most detailed pros, expertly engineered to deliver precision, job after job. When your work calls for the best, call on Makita. Makita, built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Also that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with a Capital One Saver card, so let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Also that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You never get a second chance to make a first impression. Superior Linen Service will help your company with logoed apparel, uniforms, floor mats, linen, and more. Give us a call. We answer the phone. Superior Linen Service. It's what we do. Visit suplinen.com.
If you use carpool or toll lanes along SR 167 without a Good-to-Go account, you'll now receive a bill in the mail. That is a change. A Good-to-Go pass saves $2 on every toll. That is not a change. Learn more at goodtogo167.com.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation, so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
Guys, tired all the time, gaining weight, low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. Right now, Revive Men's Health Washington is making it easier to get answers with a comprehensive wellness panel. It's not just a lab test, it's where better performance begins. Our providers will check your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. A $400 value for just $99, or free if you start treatment. Over 120,000 men have trusted Revive to restore their energy, mood, and confidence. So if you're ready to feel better and live stronger, call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Offer ends November 30th. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice.
DayandNight.net. This month, Day and Night gives you a free furnace with the installation of an AC or heat pump.
If you're not sure your furnace will make it through another winter, call us to install a proper, long-lasting, efficient heating system backed by our lifetime workmanship guarantee, so you won't be left out in the cold.
Install an AC or heat pump and get a free furnace from Day and Night Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
DayandNight.net.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Steelers quarterback Aaron Rodgers will not need surgery after all, suffering a small break in his left wrist. His status for Sunday's Week 12 game against the Bears is uncertain, though. The Seahawks got good news yesterday on a knee injury for rookie guard Gray Zabel. After telling Brock and Salk he was optimistic Monday morning, Mike McDonald told reporters Monday afternoon that imaging showed, quote, nothing significant, and Zabel is day-to-day. Finally, the Mariners made the signing of Josh Naylor official yesterday afternoon. Per Jeff Passan, the deal is 5 years, $92.5 million, with a full no-trade clause.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. Returning Mariner Josh Naylor speaking to reporters about his new deal. Let's take a listen.
First, I guess feels like Josh never actually left, so we're welcoming him back to a place he's been. As such, we don't have a jersey, but we do have 5 more years of Josh Naylor as a Mariner, which we're all thrilled by. This was about as simple a decision as we could make organizationally. After acquiring Josh midseason at the trade deadline, the way he fit in our clubhouse, in the community, the way the fan base embraced him, and frankly, a lot of the magical things that he did on the field. I can't recall ever encountering a player with a higher baseball IQ, seeing things on the field that no one else really sees. And, it's a special trait, and he can also really hit, which is not a bad thing either. So, we're all thrilled to have Josh as part of the Mariners family moving forward. Chantel, Nix, and the Naylor family now part of ours. We're working on Bo, but with that, can't thank Mark enough for the seamless way this all came together, and Justin for the hard work that he did in negotiating the deal itself. So, good day for the Mariners, good day for the Naylors, and we get to be together for numerous more seasons. So, good for us.
No, I'm super excited, super thankful, super blessed right now. Very humbled. I can't thank my family enough for getting me to this point. Without them, I'm nothing. I don't get to this position I'm in now. God is good and He's good all the time. So I just can't thank my people enough. They are super influential to me, super positive towards everything I do. Ever since I was a little kid, this has been like a goal for all three of us as brothers, and then my parents, my aunt, my grandma, everyone. Like the support is just it was incredible from the beginning of our time playing baseball to now, and it continues to be great. And they just want us to succeed as much as we can in whatever we decide to do. And I got to give them all the thanks, them and God, because without them, again, I'm nothing, and I would not be in this seat right now.
Questions? Start with Adam over here. Josh, congrats.
Thank you.
The last year's been pretty adventurous, momentous for you, obviously getting traded a couple times, arriving here, becoming a father, reaching free agency. Just what were the emotions yesterday when you sat down and finally got a chance to sign that contract?
I mean, brought back a lot of memories as a kid. My dad coached us when we were younger, so brought back those memories of playing on a field in our hometown and, trying to win a ball game with your little 10-year-old friends around the corner. And then it brought back some memories of playing amateur baseball with the Ontario Blue Jays, who I was fortunate enough to play with, and the national team. I got to travel around the world with them before, I entered pro ball. So just a lot of nostalgia, kind of. A lot of those little young memories. And to get me to this point today, I always tell players or even like little kids I work with in the off season sometimes, like, play for the kid inside you, play for that little 10, 12, 11-year-old, whoever, like however old you want to set that number at, but play for that kid and always remind that kid that, it's just a game and you're here to have fun, you're here to play hard and you're here to compete. But it's just a game. It's that little kid's game at the end of the day. So I always try to talk to my inner kid in me and remind myself that it is just a game and I'm here to have fun, work hard, be a great teammate. God willing, win the game at the end of the day, knowing sometimes you're going to lose, but it's all about that little kid inside you. So signing that contract really brought me back to those days where my dad coached me, where me and my brothers would train at facility together, and then playing with some friends I had back in the day who are still my friends now, and it's just brought back a lot of cool memories.
Josh, free agency's only been open for such a short amount of time. You're the first major league free agent to sign this offseason. How much does that speak to your desire to come back here, the front office's desire to bring you back, and just how quickly that all came together this winter?
I mean, I really enjoyed every single moment I was here, from the players to the head office to the coaching staff to the rest of the staff, the kitchen crew, the clubhouse managers, and it was just, everything was so awesome. I had such a blast being a part of everything, getting to know players on and off the field, and just competing with them. Obviously, we fell a little bit short, but I can't wait to run it back with them because they deserve this. The city deserves it. Each player's family deserves it. I can't express how much fun I had on this team. It was unbelievable, like tears of joy, kind of unbelievable. And yeah, I love competing, and competing with this organization was probably one of my favorites I've ever had in my career. So I'm very, very blessed. I played with some really, really great teams. I was fortunate enough to play with my brother. That was probably the best thing ever, being able to play with your brother. And then coming here, it was kind of a whirlwind of a year. I started in Arizona and then ended up getting traded. And getting traded is not easy at times. You got to move stuff around. You got to worry about family and stuff. But they just accepted me right away. They helped me in every single way they could. Teammates embraced me right away. Fans embraced me right away. And at the end of the day, they deserve that World Series that we're shooting for here. And I can't thank the fans enough for supporting me as much as they do. I love them, and I hope they love me. And I just go out there and compete for them every single night, and God willing, bring a World Series to this city.
Yeah, that was actually my questions about this. Fans, they do love you, and it was immediate. What did that mean to you that
as soon as you got here, it was just full support. I've heard people out and about feel like, oh, it feels like he's from Seattle. So what does it mean to have that support right away and continuing here today from the fans?
They're so cool. Super supportive in every single way. They're like I said, they're ride or die fans. They want to see you win, and I feel like when we win together. As like the X amount of thousand that are in the crowd, and then also the 26 on the field, the coaching staff, the head office. Like we all win together, which is so cool. And I feel like it's very rare to have that around the league. But this fan base is absolutely incredible. I have nothing but great things to say about them. Nothing but love for them. I cherish my shoes, and I think a lot of people know that. But towards the end of the year, I started to give like my shoes away to like these little kids just to like see them smile and make them happy. And I hope they appreciated it. I think they did, and I want to continue to make them smile, whether it's with my gameplay, whether it's little gestures of signing autographs, giving away some apparel. But they're our heartbeat, really, and I love playing for them and playing with them on the field. They're really with us on the field. The energy they bring, it helps us, create runs, create kind of chaos on the base path. When you strike a guy out, this whole place is rocking. It is just unbelievable.
Josh, as you mentioned, being traded midseason can be a little bit hectic. Why do you think it clicked off as fast as it did for you to kind of settle in here and have it go the way it did down the stretch? Because it can be kind of a big deal for you to kind of have it go this well, this good, to make it to where you're looking so eagerly to come back here and everything.
I think the trust aspect from getting traded, knowing this team wanted me, they needed me to help them win. So I just put all things aside in my life and just invested fully into this city, into this team, into my teammates, into the fans, because I wanted to give them something that they've maybe never had in their lives. I wanted to give my teammates a crazy, awesome story. I wanted to be the best teammate I can, and impact others around me, and make them better daily as best as I can. Getting traded here was, it's a blessing. Sometimes, there's a lot of thoughts in your mind when you get traded, like, what if this, what if that, I got to move this, I got to have someone help me with that. But like, I just kind of let all that out and let God take the wheel, and just knew that my job was to come in here, play hard, be the best teammate I could be, give this city the best thing I can, leave everything on the field for as long as I could, whether the game was 9 innings, 12 innings, 15, like, give it everything for it all. And for others, not just for myself, for my family, for my teammates, for the fans, for the head office, for the coaching staff, like, just lay it out all on the field for them.
Josh, it's great to have you back. When you sign a long-term contract, you bring your family here. And I was just wondering, what kind of part of the process was your family helping you to make this decision to sign a contract back with the Mariners?
They're part of every single conversation. And they knew when we were kind of talking at home after the season, like, this was such an awesome place. They got to experience a lot of the playoff games, a lot of the regular season games. So it's kind of an easy decision for us, knowing that we loved the city, we loved the team. They enjoyed coming to the ballpark every single day. So it was just like, this was kind of our main priority, to come back here. We wanted to come back here. My whole family loved it. My wife really loved it. And we can raise our kids here, or family here, for the next 5 years, which is super cool. So,
Josh, for a lot of players, free agency is the ultimate dream, getting the opportunity to test the open market, see what interest is out there. Just what was that process like for you? And could you have imagined that you would have such clarity to want to have a team to want to come back to, just a few short months ago, given that you weren't here for all that long, but, now you're back?
Yeah, obviously you could have tested the open market. That's what most of the free agents do. For me, I think talking to my agent, talking to my family, like, we knew where we wanted to go, and we got a deal done at a fair, rate that we wanted. And as much as it is, as great as it is to get the most you can, I am more than comfortable here. I love this place. I love this fan base. I love this city. I love my teammates. And I'm super thankful to be back. We got a fair deal done, and I'm just grateful. I'm blessed. I'm not very greedy in that sense. I just want to win baseball games. I want to win for the city. I felt like that last loss, not that I had to come back, but I wanted to come back to give this fan base and this city and my teammates and their families a World Series in the next 5 years, or multiple World Series, or multiple pennants. Like, just the best thing I could give back, I want to give back. They deserve it. My teammates deserve it. My family deserves it. Their families deserve it. The head office and their families deserve it. All the coaches deserve it. So I had such a blast here. I wanted to run it back with these guys and do it all again.
Josh, was there a moment that you knew that you were coming back? Was there a singular experience or maybe a collection where you said, this is where I want to be long term?
I mean, from day one, it was just love, and it was awesome. And then, so I started on the road. I started in LA. I met the team on the road, and it was great to see them. They all introduced themselves to me. And then players I knew from the past was awesome to see again. Me and Mooney had experiences in San Diego together. Me and Vargas, we rehabbed in Cleveland together. So I knew a few guys coming into it, so it kind of helped it be more comfortable. And then coming here at home and getting loud cheers and just feeling love right away was, honestly, it's hard to describe in words. You just feel just so blessed. And then when I found out we had Tucker was just like, he put me over the edge, man. I love that little guy. I love feeding him every day and just playing with him when I can. So he was a blessing too. But just the love I've got from the fans, from my teammates, the help I got right away from the whole entire organization, it was kind of like set in stone in a way where I really would love to spend the rest of my career here and raise a family here and have my family come to Seattle more often and, watch baseball games and, hopefully win a World Series here. That's everything I just want to do is just win.
Josh, it seems like you're somebody who is known, who has such a clear direction about the way you've wanted your life to go, the work that you've put in to get there. But the business of baseball sometimes takes some of that agency away from you. You were traded several times before landing here. What did you learn from each of those stops? And was it ever a challenge to kind of give yourself fully to the fans like you did? Or was that something you learned from each of those stops?
Yeah, I think experiences help you a lot in everything you do in your life, whether it's sports or business or really it goes into everything. Experience is super helpful. So every year I kind of try to grow 1% better than I was the year before. I try to learn from my failures and try to capitalize on my successes. But going into free agency, I think this year was different than many, or all the years I've had so far. I told myself I just wanted to play hard. I wanted to have fun every single day, leave it out all on the field, be the best teammate I could. And I did that every year, but I wanted to emphasize it more this year. And, God willing, find a home. And this was the home I found, which I'm super happy about. And can't wait for opening day. I honestly can't. I wish spring training started tomorrow, to be honest, to see the guys again and the fans. I think experience has taught me a lot. They taught me how to be a little bit more mature, taught me how to handle pressure a little bit better in big game scenarios, taught me how to kind of keep my heart rate down. So, yeah.
Josh, you talked about just the importance to you in winning and wanting to run it back. When you look at this team, you, Julio, and Cal are under team control for really the rest of the decade. The starting rotation is coming back. Just how exciting is it to not only, like you said, find a home, but know that looking at this roster, this window for this team to win and be competitive is really wide open at this point?
Yeah, it's awesome. To be able to hit behind Julio and Cal for the next 5 years is pretty cool. Probably makes my job a little bit easier because you got to pitch to those two guys, and if you don't, then Julio's a chance to steal. Cal also steal bags too. And then if you make a mistake, they could be 1-0 and 2-0 right away. And then the pitching staff. God, the pitching staff is like the best in baseball. It's incredible. As an opponent, I kind of hated getting ready to face those guys. You got a lot of studs on that end of the game. But this team, through and through, they take care of the ball on defense. On offense, they have great approaches, great at-bats. They can play the small ball where they're flicking balls to left field, right field. They could pepper the ball around the field, but they could also leave the park real quick. We can get 5 runs in 1 inning, and we showed that last year. We could be down 3-4-0 going into the later innings of the game, and we'd probably win that game. there was like no give up attitude, which is the coolest thing to be part of. Every single batter, it was like even if it's the 9th inning and we're down 2 or 3, we're probably going to win that game. It just happens to go that way, just because everyone had faith. Everyone believed in each other, and we did a really good job of passing the baton, of letting the next guy have his chance. And if you didn't get yours, the next guy got his. If he didn't get his, the next guy would get his. But yeah, this team is it's so complete. It is, there's always more to go, in my opinion. Like, you could always get better. And I think me signing early like this helps that opportunity of them going for other players and possibly getting this team a little bit more, like 1% better, let's call it. So yeah, no, it's this team's crazy good.
Josh, I can only imagine how many messages of congratulations you've received. Is there one that really stood out that put into perspective how big this moment is?
I'm going to say every single one. Doesn't matter who it's from. Every single message I'm very thankful for and grateful for, especially those who are who've been with me since I was young, who helped me get to this opportunity, whether it was a month of training, 30 seconds of advice, years of just being by my side or supporting me. Like, I think every message has significance, and I'm very grateful and thankful. I honestly haven't answered any because I wanted to put pen to paper first and then answer them all. So once we're all done this, I'm going to sit down and take a moment to answer everyone individually and thank them for their support and their love for me. And, I'm going to continuously do my best for them.
Josh, back here, you just mentioned, with yourself signing that maybe now this team can get other guys be 1% better, 1% closer. Did you need to talk to Jerry or Justin or anybody about, okay, what are we doing now? What's our plan? Or was there a confidence there that, okay, we're on the right track? What were those conversations had, or what was that like before you put pen to paper?
We talked a little bit, but if they want to speak on it, I'll let them speak on it. But they were gracious enough to fly out to me before the signing, have a 3-4 hour conversation with me and my wife and Mark, and I was super thankful for that. That was incredible. And then the owner called me, which is super great. I was just very, very grateful for everything that they've done, and the communication was key. But if they want to speak on that, they can. I'll let them take the reins. But I know that this isn't done, in my opinion. We got a lot more to do, and it's exciting for not only them, but for me and for the whole city. The teammates that we have here, it's going to be an awesome offseason, in my opinion, I think.
Not really. We had a discussion. Josh, we obviously, Josh played for the team, during the highest point, the most pivotal months of our season into, the drama of a postseason, but hadn't really been around to see the way we operated over time. So, sharing our story, what our plans were for the organization, how we got here, what we planned on doing going ahead. We shared that with Mark and Josh and Chantel and I think and Nick, though he wasn't super talkative, but we shared our story, and we heard a lot more about Josh's backstory. Because similarly, we met in July last year, so this was an opportunity just to get to know one another better and put our best foot forward. And I think we walked out fully understanding what one another were about, and I think that was the goal going in.
I don't have anything to add beyond that. It went well enough that we almost missed our flight on the way back because we just kept talking about the future and about sharing the same vision for what this team could be. I was blown away by how much thought Josh had put into what was important to him. It was awesome. It was a great time. And we could have stayed hours longer just talking about the Mariners and about the future. And I think it helped provide everyone clarity.
For Jerry or Justin, whoever does want to take it, certainly this has been years building to this point, and the building continues. But when you hear everything Josh is saying about how much he loves it here, loves the culture, I mean, what does that mean to you, that what you built so far is that appealing to a player like Josh?
It means a lot. I think that doesn't happen overnight. That happens with real belief from coaches, from trainers, from front office people, most importantly from players. I'll share a brief story. On Sunday, when it was apparent that we were not going to be able to keep this a secret for a minute longer, I sent a few players a text letting them know, like, hey, we're about to sign a free agent. as long as the physical goes well, please reach out to him. And I just sent them Josh's contact info, and the text thread erupted. Like, a lot of words I can't repeat on here, but just thrilled about the culture. And I think that the best sales pitch we can make as an organization is what the players think about the environment we've created. I think that in the clubhouse, that starts with Dan and our coaches and filters through the players and how they feel about it. And I think they set the tone the right way. They want to win, they want to compete, they want to work every day, and they want to have fun together. And that's a really cool culture to be a part of.
Jerry, you guys made no secret this was your top priority going into the offseason. It seemed pretty obvious you guys needed to get this one done. How was that, trying to go and make sure you got where you needed to get to in this, and just making sure you got him back here?
Yeah, I think the one thing that we've done for all the years that we've been here is we kind of tell you what we're going to do. and then we just go out and try to do that thing. And we're not always successful in doing it. This time we had a partner who wanted to be here with us, and that made it a heck of a lot easier. But it really was a no-brainer. We've built a great foundation that's out there on the field day after day. We talked about some of the guys that are here long-term, like a Cal or a Julio, our starting rotation, and it goes even beyond that. And Josh knows this. We have what I think is a very complete, close to 26-man roster. We will continue to focus on getting better this offseason. We have a pretty robust farm system. We're excited about the present and the future of the organization. But, the piece that we didn't have was we didn't have the all-star bat in the middle of the lineup who could also play first base. We also didn't have the guy, I think toward the tail end of the season, the thing that we all saw with Josh is that when our season was vibrating at a different level, he got above the vibration, and that was a pretty big deal. Not a lot of players can do that. He's had the postseason experience, as we learned during our time together. His focus is solely on winning, and I think that is, that's necessary because you're at various stages in an organizational growth and a player's career. And, Josh comes to us at the point in his career where now he's achieved success as a major leaguer. He's done things, 30 homers, 30 bags. He's been an all-star. He's gone to LCSs, et cetera. And now it's about the winning. That's exciting to get in that stage, and we've got a handful of players that are there, and that excites me about what is in front of our team.
All right, that was the latest from Josh Naylor. Awesome stuff. Let's get to what's on tonight.
What's on tonight with Bump and Stacy, brought to you by Caesars Sportsbook at Muckleshoot. Now, here's what's on tonight.
The Kraken take on the Red Wings this afternoon. Puck drop at 4 p.m. on Kong and Amazon Prime. Hype Train coming your way next.
He came to Seattle at the trade deadline.
Pitch to Naylor, swung on, drilled, gap right center field.
Getting traded here was a blessing.
And instantly made himself a fan favorite.
The ride or die fans embraced me right away.
A bases clearing, 3-run double by Josh Naylor.
5 more years of Josh Naylor as a Mariner was about as simple a decision as we could make.
I want to continue to give this city the best thing I can.
Live it up, Mariners fans.
That World Series that we're shooting for here.
With the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Start having fun. Caesars Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit muckleshootcasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot.
When I asked Scott Lucky if his last name had anything to do with his success in the trucking industry, he laughed and said, "Well, Mike, I guess you could say I've always been lucky." But when I asked him how he and his family grew Lucky Distribution Services into the company it is today, he didn't talk about luck at all. "We work hard," he said. "We keep a close eye on the bottom line, and we treat our people the right way." In other words, Scott Lucky makes his own luck, which is precisely why he switched to Pure Talk Business. "Last month, I paid the big guys $740 for 12 lines," he told me. "This month, I paid Pure Talk $420 for the exact same service." Thousands of businesses all over the country are saving real money by switching to America's most dependable 5G network, and luck has nothing to do with it. Just dial pound 250 and say micro. That's pound 250 micro to switch to a wireless company that works as hard as you do. Pure Talk.
It's hard to believe the holidays are almost here. And do you or someone on your wish list want the gift of fitness? Well, Brock Heward here, and the Top Fitness Black Friday sales event is on right now. I've told you all for years, there is nothing better than a home gym, and to give it as a gift and to friends, even better. And right now, you could save up to $1,000 on Inspire gyms, Inspire treadmills, and True treadmills, plus get free delivery and assembly on Precor treadmills, ellipticals, and exercise bikes. You can also save, how about this, up to 50% on last year's display models. With Olympic weight bars starting at $50 and home gym attachments and accessories, well, they're up to 50% off starting at just $10. So it's no secret why everyone from personal trainers to pro athletes love Top Fitness. You can visit them in Tukwila, Linwood, or Bellevue, or simply go to topfitness.com. Take care of your family, take care of your friends, take care of yourself with the Top Fitness Black Friday sales event on right now. Top Fitness, your best place for home fitness equipment.
I had pain, I had numbness in my feet. That pain and that numbness just got worse and worse and worse as time went on.
This is Greg describing life with neuropathy.
I went to 5 podiatrists, tried different treatments, tried different orthotics, tried different shoes, had cortisone shots in the tops and the bottoms of my feet. Saw a neurologist. All my medical doctors said, can't help you. Live with the pain. You're not going to be able to sleep. This is your life. And then I just gave up until I found Sound Pain Solutions.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. Our neuropathy treatments can rehabilitate damaged nerves. We use FDA-cleared, non-surgical, drug and pain-free procedures that help neuropathy sufferers like Greg find relief.
I feel better. I mean, just feeling better is huge.
If you experience numbness, shooting or burning pains, or loss of balance, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025, or click soundpainsolutions.com.
The home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports. Touchdown! Seahawks! Ken Walker III! Get everything Seahawks at seattlesports.com.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Stacy Rost here from Seattle Sports. Ladies and gentlemen, this is for you too. Stubborn fat is really hard to get rid of. And then there's all those gimmicky lasers, fat freezing methods, prescriptions. But imagine a simple solution that takes just one day and provides immediate, noticeable results. Introducing ProSculpt. ProSculpt uses air-assisted technology that's safe and gentle, yet powerful, delivering instant fat-reducing and skin-tightening results. Performed by board-certified plastic surgeons while fully awake, ProSculpt contours your body with minimal downtime. It's designed to target problem areas: waistline, face, neck, arms, thighs. ProSculpt gently removes unwanted fat and tightens loose skin with FDA-cleared plasma technology, all in a simple, guaranteed one-day procedure. ProSculpt is one and done. For your free consultation and $250 off, visit ProSculpt.com. For powerful permanent fat removal and skin tightening that works for ladies and you men, it's ProSculpt.com.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
What I need to know coming your way in 15 minutes. Get those questions into the text line 866-979-3776. Any question you have, text it now. I've got a good one about how to watch football games. Excited to get to that one.
Okay.
Right now, let's head to the station for Hype Train. Will they do it? The Seahawks are leading the league in giveaways with 20. That's not good. You don't want to be doing that. Our first Hype Train. The Seahawks will have a turnover-free game on Sunday against the Titans. I'm talking no fumbles. Not even fumbles recovered. No fumbles, no interceptions. You're not turning the ball
Is that what
over.
turnovers are, huh?
Well, no, that doesn't technically count as a turnover, but it's a turnover free. It's a clean game on Sunday against the Titans.
You asked me last week, could the turnover problem be fixed in 1 week? And I said, yeah.
You lied to me.
I lied. But I'm not going to lie again.
Okay.
Because they're not going to have a turnover. They will be turnover free. And Sam's going to get his swagger back. Mana said
think
it
I got
killed
my
him, man.
swagger
It got the deck.
back. Oh.
Curtis, the Seahawks have a turnover free. Do you think that just a bunch of people listening did the exact same thing? The Seahawks have a turnover free game on Sunday against the Titans. Bump is boarding. Are you?
Well, first,
I think I got my swagger back.
Classic.
One of the great
God.
clips of all time.
Clips just used to be better.
I am going to board this train. I think they do have a turnover-free game on Sunday. Seahawks, unfortunately, lead the NFL in giveaways.
And they've only had one game without turnovers.
Yeah.
Quickly, do you guys remember which one that was?
Jacksonville, right?
Jacksonville.
Yeah. And that was an AFC South team. The Titans are an AFC South team.
So when you think
what
about
geography,
heretofore,
yo, when you're
listen.
traveling that time zone, you know what you
Yes.
forget to pack? Turnovers. That's right.
exactly right. You sold me on the science aspect
Yeah,
of it, so I'm going to
exactly.
board this one as well. Having a turnover-free game against one AFC South team, that checks out to me. I'm on board. Next hype train.
By the way, I'm looking at the number of turnovers in the NFL, or at least the number of takeaways by a defense. The Jets have one.
Dang.
In 10 games,
Dang.
they have generated one turnover.
And their head coach a defensive guy, too?
Yeah. And they just got rid of their two best defensive players.
The extensive football knowledge I have is telling me that's bad.
Yeah.
Not good.
Sabermetrics and the eye test can tell you
Yeah.
that's bad.
I got to watch the tape to get a better answer for you. But for right now, I'll just say it's bad. Going to the Mariners for this one. Still looking for some moves after Josh Naylor. The Mariners bring back at least one of Jorge Polanco and Gino Suarez.
That's easy. Hell, extremely easy. Yeah, you're going to bring back one of those guys. You have to. And I think it's going to be Polanco, honestly. I think Divish kind of lined it up for us and said, look, this is what he'd probably cost him. Give him a 2-year deal. Call it good. See if he can repeat some of the magic he had last year. With Gino, it just doesn't feel the same. Doesn't feel the same. He did have a good year overall when you look at his numbers, especially home runs or whatnot. But when you needed him, it felt like he was stuck. Couldn't get over the hill. So, yeah, they're going to bring back one, and I think it's going to be Polanco.
The Mariners bring back at least one of Jorge Polanco and Gino Suarez. Bump is boarding. Curtis, are you?
I'll board as well. I think I'm right there with Bump. I think it's Jorge Polanco. That seems to be the more likely choice than Gino Suarez. I thought it was interesting. Jeff Passan writing today about Gino Suarez. He thinks it'll be a short-term deal with a higher dollar amount, which is maybe a little bit different than what Divish told us yesterday, where he thinks Gino might get offered $8 to $12 million a year. Passan's writing makes it sound like it's going to be north of $12 million, and I think that might be a little too rich for the Mariners. In 2026. Who knows? Maybe you trade for Gino Suarez at the deadline again. I wouldn't be opposed to a third go around with him, but I think Polanco is just a little bit more important to what the Mariners want to do at DH, what they want to do at second base.
You're boarding this one with Bump.
So I'm bored. Yeah.
Guys, what's one thing I hate?
Oh, boy.
Hot coffee starting next week.
Okay, no, Bump.
You hate, I don't know.
What? Curtis?
A lot of things you hate.
Being left out. Being left out. I hate being left out.
Okay.
I'm boarding as well.
Oh, okay. Right.
No reasons
There was
given.
just so many things that we're trying to rack our brain.
Was it like
Because
that?
every day you come into the office, you're like,
I don't hate.
stuck
No,
in traffic today.
I don't hate
Bright
that many
colors,
things.
young children.
I don't hate young children. I like
just
Willa.
had some kids in there today.
Yeah, I like Willa and Blair.
I constantly hear you complaining
color
about kids
teal.
at Starbucks.
Okay,
The color
well, no, I'm
teal.
complaining about
Yeah.
kids. They're kids, but they're teenagers. I'm calling them kids. Little children are fine. I think they have funny bodies because their heads are so much bigger than their bodies. But teenagers are annoying.
You
and
hate
I do call
plain water. You hate
Yes.
being told that you need to drink plain water in
Sure.
order to survive.
Fine.
You hate eating.
There are so many options.
Okay.
You hate eating good, greasy food.
That's not true.
You
Sometimes
you
true.
stop yourself
That's
from
sometimes
eating it.
Next up,
Discipline.
this is Pete Carroll's first and final year with the Raiders.
Man, Pete Carroll's a homie, man.
I know.
He's a homie. And I hate to see him go out like this. But you know what? I'm just going to put good vibes into the universe because I believe in that. And they're going to win a couple more games. Can't tell you which games they're going to win because who knows? But they're going to win a couple more. And Pete will be back for one more year. One more.
Will he be able to run it back, Curtis? Your hype train. This is the final year with the Raiders for Pete. Bump not boarding.
The best amount of time to spend in Las Vegas is 3 days. 1 year, it ain't going to work. You're going to lose your job after a year. And Pete Carroll, thank you for what you accomplished here in Seattle. No one can ever take that away from you. And when we look back on your career, we're just not going to mention the Vegas year.
Yeah, we're going to just overlook
We're just
it.
be like, oh yeah, there's that one year. We don't need to talk about that. You're going to be a Hall of Fame coach one day. So I am going to board this train. This is Pete Carroll's one go around in Las Vegas.
God, I really can't tell how I feel about this one. I think they should give him one more year. You've got another year of Geno. You're not like in full refresh mode. But will they? I think they give him one more. Do I believe it with my heart? I don't think so, but 1 year's quick, man. Even though there are many teams that do that, it's still relatively, it's kind of frowned upon a little bit. So you also don't want the reputation as an organization of like, we're constantly going from coach to coach to coach. Probably depends who's in the hiring cycle too, but I don't think so. Next and last, Chiefs will miss the playoffs.
No, not on
They
board.
make it?
They're gonna make it. They're gonna pull off a few wins here. They're 5-5. Their schedule looks okay. They got the Colts, the Cowboys, Texans, Chargers, Titans, Broncos, Raiders. They're gonna beat the Raiders. They're gonna beat the Texans. They're gonna beat the Cowboys. They're gonna beat the Colts.
So at the expense of the maybe Texans, Jags.
Yeah, they're gonna win at least 4 to 5 more. They get to 10 wins. They'll get to 10.
Okay.
And 10 should be enough to get you win, unless you're the 2024 Seahawks. Dang.
Just too soon. It's too soon. The Chiefs missed the playoffs. Bump is not boarding.
Not boarding.
I had to think about it. Yes. Curtis.
Great text with the 206. Stacy hates a cookout without Caesar salad.
I love Caesar salad. I love Caesar salad and crispy DC.
Stephen the Couve says spaghetti, 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 spaghetti.
I don't hate it. I just don't like it. I'm spaghetti neutral.
You've never really offered a positive word on spaghetti over the years. Chiefs missed the playoffs.
Got me there.
I'm not going to board that train. I think they get in, but I don't think they are going to a Super Bowl this season. So not boarding, but I don't think it's going to end with confetti this year.
God, what an idiot I would be to bet against the Chiefs. I don't think they're going to do it. I don't think they're going to do it. I'm boarding this train.
Yeah.
It's not like they're statistically awful, right? It's not like you're looking at them going, they've lost all these players. They're, last in rushing yards, like they're fine. They look like a team that's good enough to get there. And frankly, a team that could win once they get there, just with the experience with Patrick Mahomes. But that's tough, man. You're at 500 after week 11, going into week 12. What I need to know coming your way next.
Wyman and Bob.
To me, the biggest thing about this Naylor deal
every afternoon at 2
is not that they signed him, not that he makes sense, that he fits perfectly. All of that is true. What it represents to me is a shift in philosophy with ownership, with the front office. It's the biggest free agent deal since Jerry DiPoto's been in charge. And to me, this represents a huge change in philosophy that I hope continues while they address other positions.
Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton, only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
What's your holiday tradition?
It's G. Scott here. For me, it's gathering with loved ones around a meal that brings joy. For many families, that tradition feels out of reach. Next time you shop at Safeway, please donate to Nourishing Neighbors. Your gift provides groceries to families across Washington, giving them access to nutritious food and the dignity to shop like the rest of us and choose what's meaningful for their holiday table. Visit nourishingneighbors.com and donate at your Safeway checkout. That's nourishingneighbors.com.
This year's ratings of the best TVs just got published, and Samsung, LG, and Sony scored the highest. Also, they warned about the poor performance of the bargain brands promoted at some stores. So where can you get the best deal on the top-rated TVs? At the club? Online? Nope. At Video Only. They've got their better than Black Friday deals on right now. Don't be sorry. Check out Video Only before you buy.
When you're at home and next to your windows, do you notice cold air or a draft when the wind blows? How about moisture or leaking during a rainstorm? Dave Wyman here, and after 20 years in our home, our window seals started breaking. A failed window can do major damage to your home, and the older the window, the more likely it is to fail. That's why right now is an excellent time to have Harley Exteriors come by for a no-charge consultation. That's exactly what I had done over the summer, and not only were they extremely knowledgeable about all things windows, I found them to be polite, professional, and respectful. In other words, people you want to do business with. Harley Exteriors has a special offer for Seattle sports fans. Buy 3 windows, get 1 free. No payments or interest until 2027. And take an additional $200 off your project. Call 833-HARLEY or go to harleyexteriors.com. Schedule your free consultation today. They'll give you an honest assessment and quote. Go to harleyexteriors.com.
Imagine all that could happen in 5 years. Jobs may change, kids will grow, new memes will come out, but also, what if you had reliable, intelligent Wi-Fi and the price didn't change for 5 years? Well, thanks to the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee, you actually don't have to worry about that part of your future. You're guaranteed 5 years of Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to your devices that need them the most, that finds and fixes any issues before you even notice them. It's like a super intelligent Wi-Fi that keeps you protected from threats online. Plus, well, you get incredible gaming speeds on multiple devices with no one battling for bandwidth. And for the next 5 years, all your devices will be working in perfect harmony. And you get our best equipment with no annual contracts, no fees, and no strings. So even though kids will grow up and you still won't understand 6, 7, your internet will stay sharp, reliable, and most importantly, the price will stay put. All with the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity, imagine that. Restrictions apply. Select plans only.
Sounds like your sleigh's about to get prepped for the season. And at Valvoline Instant Oil Change, we don't just change your oil. We also check your tire pressure, battery, wipers, and lights, all in about 15 minutes. Just stop in at one of our 2,000 locations, stay cozy in your car, and let our trained pros handle the rest. Oop, sounds like your sleigh's ready to roll. Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Oil changes in about 15 minutes. No appointment needed.
Want more Seahawks content? Join me, G. Scott, on The Reset. New episodes of the podcast every Monday and Thursday on YouTube or on the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, Mike Salk here for my friends at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel, and obviously New Year's is coming up. Can you believe it? Book your stay at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel for an evening of elegance at a night at the Grand Ball. This New Year's Eve celebration includes the legendary DJ Super Sam. And sports fans, you got to check out the Hawks Peak. You're home for game days with great food and drinks, more than 60 TVs, so you won't miss a play, and a heated, covered outdoor deck with those great views of the Snoqualmie Valley. Seattle's closest is now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
You've heard the saying, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. Since 1926, my family's been helping local businesses make great first, second, and long-term impressions. We know how to make your company look good with quality uniforms, logoed apparel, floor mats, linens, and more. If you're paying for linen service or doing it yourself, let's have the conversation. The information and quote are free, but the savings and service can really add up. Visit suplinen.com. Superior Linen Service. It's what we do.
Sometimes even heroes need rescuing.
I'm a retired firefighter, 27 years.
Kurt had severe pain in his knees and his shoulder, which was keeping him from enjoying his well-deserved retirement.
Loved to ski, loved to fish, and couldn't even walk 18 holes.
That's why Kurt decided to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
He was just awesome. He goes, yeah, give me a shot. And he took care of me. He stemmed my knee and my shoulder.
And how are you feeling now?
I was pain-free in 12 weeks. I play golf now pain-free, and it's awesome.
So you'd recommend this treatment to others in your situation?
Absolutely. Yeah, Dr. Wagner's, he's had a couple people call me, and I recommended that they do it.
Before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Get your questions in for What I Need to Know. What's top of mind for you? 866-979-3776. Question, gang. Thanks to these shows, I've started focusing on individual players when watching football, not the play as a whole. However, it feels like, for example, if I focus on Big Cat, well, then it's Uchenna on the play. If I focus on Spoon, now it's Kobe or Nicky Manwari. So how do I choose who to focus on without missing the whole play develop?
You're going to miss it. That's why I have to watch a play 5 or 6 times when I'm watching film, because it's impossible to see everything. What I would do is I would look at the situation, right? Say it's 3rd and long, and you feel like, all right, these guys are definitely going to throw the football. All right, let's look and see what the pass rush looks like, you know? Or say it's 3rd and short, you feel like they're going to run the football. Let's see if Ernest Jones fills the A or the B gap or whatnot. But you're going to miss. You're going to miss something.
Yeah.
That's just how it is.
It's good advice, though. It's like, well, look at the players that are likely going to be in on the action here.
Mm-hmm.
And just accept that sometimes you choose the wrong guy, and sometimes you see something really cool.
Something great.
What's one of the cooler things you can remember? Like recently you keyed in on a guy for a couple plays, and then you were like, I feel like I learned something about him.
It was early. Leo against the Steelers. He threw a grown man to the ground. It was the most dominant thing I've seen. And it wasn't a little guy. It was a guy that's like his size.
A grown man.
Threw him down to the ground. I'm like, goodness gracious.
What I need to know. Would you let the college playoff expand by one team, but this has to be the number 1 FCS team to stir up some drama?
Yes, I definitely would.
No,
They'll get
Curtis?
smacked.
I don't think
but
so.
I like it.
Yeah,
You don't want the underdog to succeed?
It's not that. I just don't think it'd be a very competitive game.
It 99 times out of 100 would not.
Yeah,
I'd do it.
So then, do you not like it because it becomes an unfair advantage for the team paired up opposite?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's almost it's almost a bye. Like I know there's a chance that the FCS national champion could compete, but like I think it was Jed Fish's 2nd season at Arizona. They ended up winning 4 games that year, and one of their wins was against North Dakota State.
Mm-hmm.
Like a 4-win FBS team beat the national champion FCS school. So
yeah,
there's just
because they don't have Trey Lance anymore.
True. Or Grace Abel.
yeah, Grace Abel. Is there a change you guys would make that you think would be cool, or just like, yeah, I like expanded playoffs, great, leave it at that?
Just keep expanding it.
Yeah.
Get it to like 24 of them things. Nah, 16.
16?
16 teams, yeah.
Yeah, I guess I have no strong preference. There's a certain point where
24 might be too much.
It's more than 16.
But you go
much.
24, maybe the dogs sneak in there.
You know what?
That's real.
I'm done reading questions.
What are they? Where are they? Are they still ranked?
They're 7-3. If they went out, they're 9-3 with a win over Oregon.
I'm stepping away from my mic. Why don't you go ahead and handle what I need to know?
Why do you say like I can't? You forgot me and Curtis just did a show last week together.
What I need to know. When heating something up in the microwave, do you open the door right away or leave it closed for a few seconds?
Thing's open before it hits 0.
Right.
Do you guys worry about
there's
microwaves?
1 second on the clock.
Left, yeah.
You know, like the way my microwave is positioned in my kitchen is such that like it's very easy to stand with my head in front of it. And sometimes I'm like, I feel like I shouldn't do that. Are you still a little bit afraid of microwaves, even though it is 2025?
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah. So, for instance, when you're standing in front of your microwave, doesn't it feel like you shouldn't have your head next to the microwave?
I just want to be clear. I asked you to repeat the question because I heard it. I just want to make sure you heard it.
You guys are dragging me today. God. Just me, I guess.
It's pretty sealed shut. Like, you don't feel any heat waves coming off of it.
I'm not saying you're going to get radiation poisoning standing in front of a microwave, but doesn't a little tiny part of you bump? I know this is true for you.
Yeah, you know I believe in that stuff.
Exactly.
I hope you don't sleep with your phone near your head either.
Not anymore.
Okay.
Not anymore for the same reason. Because I thought, well, what if?
Mm-hmm.
What if it's I don't know. It just seems, play it safe. What I need to know. Ooh, this is a good one. For $1 million, would you rather have to tackle Marshawn Lynch in a one-on-one open field drill, and you have to tackle him, or get tackled by Cam Chancellor in a one-on-one open field drill?
Oh, Lynch all day. Going Lynch, because you just go low. With Cam, he decides.
That's a penalty.
No, you don't. It's not a penalty. You go low. You tackle low on big guys.
Either one, I'm out there because it's for $1 million.
So you're going at the knees.
I'm going knees and below. Yeah, I'm just diving at his feet.
Oh, so you're just going to, okay.
Diving at his feet.
I thought we were talking about like a real chop block situation.
Nah,
here.
I'm going to tackle him, or try to. Cam, though,
bounce off.
He determines the force that is brought.
So in one of these, I would die. And in the other one,
you might die in both. Yeah.
Die.
You might die in both.
This is tough. Okay, so you're going Marshawn. Curtis, you're going tackling Marshawn Lynch?
Yeah, I'll go tackling Marshawn Lynch, but my butt is on the field either one. For $1 million, you'd be stupid not to try either one.
Let's see. What I need to know. What's the hardest thing off the field when you're playing in the league?
What's the hardest thing off the field? Being young and rich, keeping
Staying
the distractions off of you.
People not asking you for money all the time, like every friend and family member that you had and didn't know you had.
People were asking me for money like I signed for a few million.
Did anyone ever ask you for money that you'd never met in your life?
No.
Okay, but a lot of people where you were like, hey, there are some limitations to what I can do.
How many people ask you for tickets?
Oh, still to this day.
To this day. To this day.
To this day.
Wyman and Bob coming up next.
To me, the biggest thing about this Naylor deal
every afternoon at 2
is not that they signed him, not that he makes sense, that he fits perfectly. All of that is true. What it represents to me is a shift in philosophy with ownership, with the front office. It's the biggest free agent deal since Jerry DiPoto's been in charge. And to me, this represents a huge change in philosophy that I hope continues while they address other positions.
Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton, only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
When businesses thrive, communities score. That's why Bank of America is the official bank of FIFA World Cup here in Seattle. And our more than 95 local business specialists are ready to help your business win. What would you like the power to do? Learn more at bankofamerica.com/local business. Bank of America, official bank of FIFA World Cup 2026. Bank of America Corporation, all rights reserved.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
Pros don't just show up. They prove how it's done, with precision and without shortcuts. Makita tools are built the same way, with a dedication to lasting quality, trusted performance, and results that reward your effort year after year. When the job calls for the best, call on Makita. Built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
At Shane Company, there's no shortcuts, just craftsmanship. Because a friend wants your fine jewelry and dream engagement